All right, so we're good. Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat Live. Tonight, we could decide our WSL champions as Chelsea had travelled to Manchester to take on Manchester United in this important WSL title match. This could be the time to decide because of the game that we just watched, where Aston Villa beat Arsenal 5-2, Harry. Very exciting game. And Chelsea now in a position where they could win the league.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely crazy night so far, but it's midweek madness all over again, and the biggest game of the season rolls into town for both of these sides. Manchester United, if they do win in front of their home crowd, will leapfrog Arsenal into second place. If Chelsea are to better Arsenal's result, if they draw or they win, Chelsea will be crowned champions this evening and will make it 6 titles in a row. So a massive, massive moment for Chelsea and Sonia Bonpastor. What a way this would be to bounce back in style after a dismal Champions League semi-final across the two legs. To bounce back with a title in their next OSL match would be a it would be a strong bounce back. That's fair, very fair to say.
Yeah, I think it would definitely help lift the mood in that Chelsea camp. I imagine it's rather low after what was a crushing defeat over the two legs against Barcelona. But yeah, an important game tonight and a chance to prove themselves against one of the WSL's best and, well, the best defence in the league this season. Inarguably, it has been Manchester United. Arsenal were in that conversation, but shipping 5 to Aston Villa doesn't help their cause. And so, yeah, United least goals conceded in the league this season. Really impressive defensive numbers. And they'll be hoping that they can thwart Chelsea. They did so earlier in the season for large parts of the game. They only lost 1-0. So they're hoping to give a good account of themselves once again and perhaps go one step further and take a point or all 3 off Chelsea tonight. Obviously, we are at the Leigh Sports Village. Let's have a look at the lineups. 4-2-3-1 is the formation for Manchester United. In goal, Fallon, Tullis-Joyce. A back four of Riviere, Letitia, Turner and Gabrielle George. In the midfield pivot, it's Miyazawa alongside Dominique Janssen. Janssen returning to the side after 2 games out. Across the midfield 3, it's then Bizet, Clinton and Leah Goughton. And leading the line, Melvin Mallard. Dominique Janssen coming back into the side then for her first start since the 30th of March, which has been a month now. How important is that in terms of creating control in that United team?
It's a massive contribution. We've seen United opt to use Clinton and Toon in there. Clinton in with Miyazawa and Toon further forward. But what the purpose of that was to be more attacking, be more offensive, play on the front foot, and just overwhelm opposition with creative quality and to just create chance after chance and almost bombard the smaller teams in the league. Bringing Janssen in today, though, makes a lot of sense against a tougher opposition against Chelsea. United need Janssen in there, give them some control and just to offer a bit of stability in that midfield. Someone who can hold onto the ball, someone who is very physical in there as well if they needed to be. Chelsea are very combative. That midfield 3 for the Blues, as we'll touch on, is a very strong midfield. It's a midfield that like to get stuck in and like to use their physicality to win that midfield battle. Dominique Janssen will give United a foothold in that battle and potentially win it for them. That's the kind of player she is. So very important to have her back. I think it's the right decision from Mark Skinner to go to favour stability over attacking quality and attacking prowess.
Yeah, I think that it's quite clear from the team selection the way United will look to play tonight. Using Mallard is a very deliberate choice. I think they will be looking to play transitional. They will be looking to find Mallard in behind. I think as well, having Clinton, who's a much stronger runner than Toon, who's much stronger in transition than Toon, it makes sense. And also a more physical player than Toon. I think they will look to match Chelsea's midfield in terms of physicality tonight. So in terms of team selection, it makes a lot of sense in that regard. So I think it's it'll be interesting to see how that works. But if it does work as expected, that could create Chelsea a lot of problems tonight. And let's have a look then at the Chelsea team. Also 4-2-3-1. In goal, it's Hannah Hampton. A back four of Bronze, Bright, Germer and Charles. In the midfield pivot, though it has looked more of a single pivot at times recently, is Walsh and Cuthbert. On the right flank, it's Beaver Jones. On the left flank, Sondi Baltimore, attack midfield captain, and Ramirez leads the line. That could be Beaver Jones and Baltimore the other way round. We'll have to wait and see there. Both players have played both wings this season, so again, not able really to call which side those will both start on. But either way, Chelsea, a bit of rotation from the side that played Barcelona, but perhaps not as much as you'd expect after the loss.
Yeah, it's when you suffer a tough defeat, when you suffer a season-defining loss, as a manager. You have two options to choose from. You either completely change the 11 and bring in wholesale changes to prove your point that the standard wasn't good enough, or what you do is you name a very similar 11 and you give them the opportunity to go out and redeem themselves in a bigger game. And that's exactly what Sonia Bompastor's opted to do. She's chosen the experienced players who didn't perform against Barcelona, but she's gone out there and said, you weren't good enough, so now go and prove a point. You go start in the biggest game of our season, play much better than you did at the weekend, and show how classy we really are. And I like that from Bompastor, because I understand it. It's a very important game. It's a one that Chelsea need their leaders, need their experience. So to rotate the 11 for potentially younger and inexperienced players wouldn't make sense to me. She's going for the players she knows can get the job done. Chelsea, they will look to bounce back today in style. It's going to be very, very difficult. But I understand the selection from Bompastor, believing in the 11, her strongest 11, to go and get the job done. And I think they've got a good chance of doing that today.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a really competitive game. Ryan says, loving the shirt change up the Chelsea. Thank you for noticing, Ryzen. Had to go and find a Chelsea shirt to put on quickly. Plus, I think we might see United press really high early on. Well, it'll be intriguing. I mean, I think that is part of the use of Mallard over Turland, a slightly better presser, but then you would have expected Toon perhaps. Clinton's also very good at pressing, so yeah, I think they will be high pressing today. It's how Chelsea can play through that, which will be the interesting thing to observe. David Fraser says, I liked how Goma played in the Champions League. I think it's ultimately what that backline will look like. What'll be interesting, obviously, Chelsea next season will have 4 options really at centre half: Bjorn, Bright, Buchanan, and Goma. Goma really should consider changing her name so it has B in it, because every other Chelsea defender does.
Well, and Pomme.
Bupome. And Barnes.
Yeah.
And obviously Burma. But yeah, I think that chat should definitely happen. But yeah, I think Goma will be hoping to be the starter next season. She hasn't come to Chelsea to be the rotation player. Don't get it wrong, there will be rotation in there. Different players will be using different competitions. But I think if we talk about the big games next season, Goma will be hoping to start those games.
Yeah, 100%. But and this is a big game for her as well. It's probably, it's the toughest opposition she's faced domestically. It's one of the only 2 oppositions she's faced domestically. But overall, I think that this is going to be a very, very big game for Chelsea as a whole. And United, it's going to be very interesting to see what United do tonight, because what we've seen United do before against Chelsea with Mark Skinner is they've always tried to, because they're having a great season. So what they usually do, and they usually go, we're going to play our stuff and try and beat Chelsea. And it never really works. What Skinner's done in this match is he's changed things purposely for this match. He's made decisions that only impact this single game that he wouldn't make. If this was a normal game against a weaker opposition, Turland and Toon would have probably started, and we would have seen changes. There's a couple more changes across the board. But Skinner has purposely picked this 11 and set up this way against this Chelsea side. And I'm intrigued to see whether it will pay dividends for him by focusing on the opposition rather than Man United, rather than their own game. Will it pay off, or has he overthunk it? That's the big question. Let's see what happens, because it's very hard to try and battle Bompastor football. But let's see what Mark Skinner's come up with.
Yeah, indeed. And Mark Skinner and Sonia Bompastor fairly welcoming.
That was quite friendly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, very friendly between the two of them. But yeah, Sonia Bompastor unbeaten so far in the WSL. 3 games left. Can Chelsea go invincible? That's the big
Potentially so. But a massive opportunity for Chelsea tonight to go out and claim that title. But Man United are probably the last side that Chelsea wanted to see in a game like this. When you can get that title across the line, you don't want to see one of the best sides of the season coming. You're travelling to one of the best sides in the season. That is a very difficult task. Let's see what happens though. United can make this very interesting. It's going to be difficult for Chelsea. But Chelsea beat them early in the season. Can they do it again? Probably. They want to hold on to that unbeaten record. They want to go invincible, and they want to win the league title tonight.
I believe they'd be the first invincible side in the WSL era.
Yeah, in the WSL era, yeah.
Obviously, Arsenal went 4 years unbeaten at one point, but that was pre-WSL era. So it's still an incredible achievement, and it will never be replicated at any standard of football. But it's not as strong a level. Anyway, both sets of players taking a knee and a stand against all forms of discrimination here before kickoff, and Chelsea will get us underway here. Maya Ramirez from the middle, waiting for Abigail Burns' whistle. Will now get us underway, knocks it back, and we're underway here at the Leeds Sports Village. Manchester United versus Chelsea in this crunch WSL potential title decider. We haven't done predictions. Quick 5 predictions.
I will go. Do you want to go for a 1-1 draw? Chelsea will still in the league. United will gain on Arsenal, but a really tightly contested game.
Yeah, I'm feeling Chelsea tonight. I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea.
Fair enough.
A bit more of a comfortable performance. Not a battering, but a comfortable performance.
Yeah.
Baltimore. Now, Erin Cuthbert finds Vika captain, and that is a nice pass into Bronze. And now back to Bright.
I'll say 2 things. Pitch looks brilliant, by the way. Love, because it hasn't been used, because there's been no rugby games and there's been no Man United. Did Man United play at the weekend? No,
obviously not. This is the weekend
Oh,
games.
yeah, of course. But also Chelsea, incredible away support for a 8:15 kickoff on a Wednesday night in Manchester. Brilliant travelling from the fans.
Yeah, that's a game I wanted to go to, but made it really difficult.
Yeah.
Phillies going 2-1 to United. It's a ban. No, I'm joking. Gabriel George trying to carry that ball forward, just brought down there by Bronze.
Surely,
be United for
from an Arsenal point of view, Phil, surely you want you want Chelsea to win tonight.
Well, he wants the title race to still be possible.
Yeah, I know, but if United win, then suddenly Arsenal are third. So even if the title race is still possible, Arsenal aren't the ones that are in it. It's United.
That's true. I think Arsenal will believe they will beat United in that last game, though. But, yeah, I see your point. And Mark Skinner has never won against Chelsea. 1 draw, 10 losses. As Manchester United manager. They are
genuinely
the
day
duck he cannot break.
The day he beats Chelsea will be the best day of his life. And I think even he would admit that. Especially if it was to be, probably mean if it was the FA Cup final at the end of the year.
Yeah. Strong challenge from Bronze. Nice give and go in there. Walsh does well to carry that ball forwards. I think it's a shame. I know obviously that the Champions League qualifiers would make it difficult, but do you think it's a shame that we don't have a Community Shield?
No.
No?
I don't know. I don't really care about the Community Shield.
I know, but a nice little. It's a nice curtain raiser.
It is.
Nice way to start the season. I mean, to be fair, in the WSL we usually get a big game in the opening game week anyway.
Yeah, because
of there's usually a big game every game week, because there are only 12 teams in the league, and if the 4 of them play each other, it's a big game.
Yeah.
So we do usually end up with a big fixture anyway, but yeah, I think it could be a nice curtain raiser.
Need to see more from Ramirez today for Chelsea. I think that Ramirez didn't really do too much against Barcelona. Didn't really get involved. Hasn't looked brilliant last couple of weeks. So I think a big performance needed from Maya Ramirez.
That was just a little bit late, a little bit unnecessary twice there from Dominique Janssen.
Yeah, Bronze makes the most of it. She does well. It's smart. Gets her body the right side of Janssen, and kind of forces Janssen to commit the foul because there's not much Janssen can do there. But yeah, just a little bit too over-eager that from Dominique Janssen. But it's important that Chelsea settle into this game.
Bright picks out Ramirez. Her control, though, escapes her, and that will be Manchester United's throw.
Yeah, see what Ramirez trying to do there, but again, it's a smaller pitch. Got to be careful of that. You've got to put that into your considerations. Haven't quite got the space that you see on some of the bigger pitches.
Walsh. Now Naomi Germer. Ball goes back to Hampton. And here's Bright.
Do you think Chelsea take a draw tonight?
I think they would. Just it keeps the invincible record going and they win the league.
Yeah, that is true.
I think they want to win. They want to get back to winning ways. They want to prove a point, really. I think especially with these two sides meeting in a few weeks' time, I think they'll be really keen to stamp authority, but definitely take a point.
Yeah. Really well defended that by Riviere, by the way. Forces Baltimore backwards, and then Mallard forces the air out of Germer. And that's a good show of how United can really stunt Chelsea good defence, good press there, and they managed to force up the ball backwards and then force it out of play. Chelsea just got to move it quicker. Baltimore slowed it down too much. And then Germa had too much to do with too little time.
Mallard and Germa competing for it. Germa does really well to get goal side and be strong against Melvin Mad, then finds the pass to Charles. That's really top defending from Naomi Germa there.
Yeah.
Especially keeps the body between the player and the ball.
Yeah. Especially because she initially was losing that battle, but she managed to win back that fight.
But that shows the difficulty that Mallard is going to post those Chelsea defenders, pacey but also physical. Really tidy finisher as well if they do let her get out of their grasp.
Yeah.
Baltimore has Clinton all over her, and then that does result in a turnover. Mallard looking to turn. Germa finds Clinton. Baltimore's kept with her nicely. Commits though. Clinton puts the ball into the box. Headed away by Millie Bright. Now Cuthbert reverses the ball for Ramirez. Letitia does well there to head it away. Ball poked through. Cut out well by Lucy Bronze, and Bronze will now carry it forwards. Pokes it wide for Vika Captain. Captain looking for Ramirez up against Turner. And that's good defending in there from Turner to deal with Ramirez. Knocking out of play.
Yeah, there's a clear message from United to be physical today. Be strong up against Chelsea. Don't let them settle. A lot of players getting their hands and getting up in the faces of the Chelsea lot. Makes sense. You want to get on top of them. You want to try and put them off a little bit.
Yeah. It has been when United played Chelsea, though. We saw it in the FA Cup semi-final last season, where I think it was last season, where off the ball, Letitia just elbowed Ramirez, just completely off the ball. They always want to try and get that edge in there.
It's smart because it can work in football very easily. It's up to Chelsea to not rise to it and to just.
Especially if officials close their eyes.
Yeah, let the ball do the work.
Sometimes do.
Yeah, I think there will be a lot on. Bon Pastor will put a lot of pressure on herself and Chelsea to get the result tonight, more than anyone else will. Because she's the type of manager, she'll want to respond from what has been a really poor week.
We've seen that in the media, though, with her messages of, we need to bounce back. We need to come back from that. I think we're not as far away from Barcelona as that result made it look. And I do wholeheartedly agree with that. I think she's right in that. The result did flatter Barcelona in that regard. Chelsea the mentality, they just fell apart in that game. But I think in terms of quality, they can match Barcelona. We've seen that in previous years. But yeah, today an important one to get back into the swing of things. Throwing now here for Manchester United on this near side. Jade Riviere throwing it up the line. Headed out of play by Niamh Charles, and that will once again be a throw.
United doing well. Even start so far. Both sides have settled pretty nicely.
Yeah. And again, Riviere preparing to throw this long then. United to make up some yards. Yeah, it falls back to Riviere. Baltimore will pick it up though and clear it forwards. And Miyazawa there strong against Ramirez. Now United can play. Turner. George. Oh, well, that's really good from Bronze. Yeah. Jump in front of that pass towards Skelton and knock out of play.
You're not surprised to see a Hermano or a Wrighton tonight for Chelsea?
Not if neither are fully fit.
Yeah. Suppose. I like to think that they both would be. That's not Ian Wilcock. That is Lino. That is Ian Wilcock. Is he special? Have they only just got a goal-kicking coach, or?
I don't know. I think you might be part-time goalkeeping coach, part-time gym man.
Or Skinner's mate.
I've never seen a goalkeeping coach that's that huge. Or a goalkeeping coach that's right next to the manager. Ball played in behind from Ramirez. Really good heart. Looking for Vika Captain. Great recovery from Letitia. Now Tullis Joyce. Letitia plays it forwards. Dominique Janssen gets it under her control. Cuthbert strong in there. Now Chelsea will come forward with it. Captain. Options left or right. Goes to Beaver Jones. Puts it into the box. So that's into the gloves of Tullis Joyce.
Yeah, wrong decision from Captain initially to play it into... If you're going to play it into Beaver Jones, you've just got to lay it in front of her rather than play it almost as a through ball. But Chelsea work it well. It's strong from Cuthbert to win the ball back. Gets it into Captain, who for me potentially should just overhit it a little bit. And it means that Beaver Jones's cross was only ever going to end up in the hands of Fantas's Joyce. Yeah, it's not a foul from Cuthbert.
No, it's definitely a foul from the answer.
Yeah.
As it was given, given as advantage.
Came together.
Here is Sandy Baltimore, who will look to take on Riviere. And she'll look to burst past her here. Baltimore, nice shimmy inside. That's a nice bit of footwork now. Finds Erin Cuthbert down the line. Miyazawa hounding her here. Cuthbert with a nice turn. Tries to drive inside. It's picked off in there. Bronze then anticipates well and wins it, poking it forward. But that will bounce through Tyler's Joyce before Ramirez can get there.
Yeah, Chelsea can't fall and dangerous, but it's well managed by United. It's smart. They're not panicking. And it's the reason why they are the best defensive side in the league this season, because every defensive decision is the right one. Seeing that, and they just trust each other there. Letitia puts her arms out, turns around because she knows Tyler's Choice is going to be there sweeping that ball up. Probably because Tyler's Choice has shouted her name, but still, they know it's coming. They know they've got that level of communication at the moment, where that whole back line is just on the same wavelength. They all know what each other's going to do.
Yeah. And we've seen examples from both Chelsea and Arsenal, the sides above them in the league at the moment, of just complete miscommunications in the back line in their last two games. Ball chipped towards the back post. Sondy Baltimore gets it under her control nicely. Didn't have the space to get the shot away all the time. But they'll try and rework possession now. Here's Charles, wants to take on Riviere. Riviere, good defending. Out low for a Chelsea corner.
Really good piece. Again, a 1v1 defending from Riviere. Has been such a good 1v1 defender. One of the best in the league. And Charles is only going to left-footed left back. He's only going to do one thing there and try and get to the byline, and Riviere reads it and dives in well. But Chelsea starting to just get a bit of a stranglehold on this game and put United under a little bit of pressure. And again, a corner. Both sides with quite a big aerial threat.
Ball floated towards the back post. Miyazawa looking to try and break away with it. Baltimore does well just to stand her ground.
Neither of them wanted that.
Back to Goma.
Neither of them
He's given us a free kick.
Between Baltimore and Miyazawa, neither of them just wanted the ball.
Yeah.
They're both waiting to see what each other were going to do.
Here's Goma. I think it's neither player want to go in for it, because if the other player flicks it over your head, you don't have committed to it. Then have to then be on the wrong foot going backwards.
Yeah.
Hampton finds Charles, and that's out for another Chelsea throw. Charles again.
Chelsea really trying to come down his left-hand side, focusing on getting Charles and Baltimore into the game, which is interesting because I do think you'll have a better time running at Gabby George than you will Jade Riviere.
Yeah, probably. Letitia. Now Turner. Chelsea trying to press this. Stop United playing forwards. Letitia with the ball launched up the line, looking for Jade Riviere. Charles will try and see it out. I think that came off Neves Charles though, and that will be a United corner. Yeah, it's Charles was trying to muscle Riviere off and see it out, but she realised if she doesn't poke that out, then Riviere's just going to get a touch on it and flick it round past her. And now United's turn to get some aerial height into the penalty area and try and cause Chelsea issues from a set piece. Lurking at the back post. A few red shirts. So George over this one then for United.
Train forming at the back post.
A classic train. Players dispersed from said train, and Clinton's headed that well over the bar.
Well, the right idea, but the complete wrong execution. The move worked and Clinton found herself unmarked in the penalty area. Just jumped into it and head the ball over rather than getting over the ball and heading it down.
Just a bit behind her, really.
Again, first 15 minutes, pretty even start.
Ramirez, great hold up against Letitia. Now plays the ball out to this right-hand side. Beaver Jones will look to take on George. Moving left and right, waiting for the space.
Really well defended again.
Captain, Bronze. I don't know why Captain wasn't braver in possession there, because when Beaver Jones had it back to her, I was expecting it to then go in behind a big triangle around the defenders, but instead she just goes back to Bronze, and it's safe. Too safe, arguably, at times. Ball thrown into the penalty area there for Ramirez. Great hold up, and she forced a really good save into at Tallis Joyce. From Tallis Joyce, really good stop. It's a great turn. Use her body to roll. Millie Turner just fires one towards the near post. Tallis Joyce gets down to it well.
Yeah, strong left hand from United's goalkeeper. Really good save. But that's the difference that the Joy Ramirez gets up against Turner compared to Letitia.
Yeah.
Another corner.
Ball into the box. No one can meet it for Chelsea. They'll look to break now. Manchester United, Miyazawa. That's overhit though.
Bit better for Ramirez. What you need, Chelsea need more of her, holding that ball up, spinning and shooting. But again, it's going to take something good to beat this United backline and keep her, because that isn't, so that's a really, it's a tighter shot that against another goalkeeper potentially squeezing it in the near post.
Yeah,
but it was really well saved by Tallis Joyce.
Miyazawa. Now Melvin Mallard. Let's take on Bright. Good stop. Falls for Clinton. Huge block, Naomi Germer.
Wow.
That should have been a certain goal. But that is a magnificent block from Naomi Germer. Textbook defending. Prevents what should have been Manchester United's opener. Header from close range over the bar. United are troubling Chelsea, though, with the answers at the moment.
United coming forwards and are causing problems. Ramirez gets caught in possession. Miyazawa flicks it through to Mallard, who does really well up against Bright. Gets the better of a good save from Hampton. Falls to Clinton, who you think surely will score. But Naomi Germer, that is a sensational piece of defending. And that is why you pay £1 million for the world's best. Because that is a superb block.
Yeah.
To stop a certain goal and keep this game level. That block was worth £1 million alone. It's more brilliant.
Really nice drive there from Sandy Baltimore. Wants to take on Miyazawa.
She needed more there. She needed more options. No one went with her.
Bright moves out to the right hand side with Bronze. Bronze chips it inside. Ramirez holds the ball up well. Shrugs off Turner. Plays out to Bronze, who gets there. Puts the ball into the box. Head away by Jade Riviere. Then flicked away well by Dominic Janssen. Mallard. Pass it back to Galton. Bronze still recovering in there. Bright does well there with the challenge to see Janssen run it off herself.
Yeah, smart defending from Bright. But again, Ramirez, really good hold up against Turner. Just Turner's not as assertive as Letitia is. Letitia is right on the back of Ramirez and doesn't allow her to really move with it. Turner just is a little bit, about half a yard off, and just gives Ramirez enough space to work with. Got to be a little bit tighter in there.
Ball forward held up well by Ramirez. Falls now to Vika captain Ramirez, who's just been caught offside.
Ramirez just got sloppy from Ramirez. Just got to be careful there. Has to look along the line and realise that she's just got to drop back half a yard.
Indeed. 18 minutes gone here. United have had the best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, big block from Gower, but both sides, it's what we expected. It's a decent game, but both sides are getting, have had one or two chances so far. But not bad overall from either side.
Indeed.
That's what we want to see from games like this. Both sides playing pretty well. And it's just going to be who can come at that moment of quality to break the deadlock. Pinballing around in the centre. United finally get a foot on it.
Here is Letitia. Across now to Turner. Options on this left-hand side for Millie Turner. Carries the ball forward well. Now Mallard. Clinton. Back to Maya Letitia. who waits in possession, patient on the ball. Turner into Janssen, back round the corner into Letitia, probing now United, waiting for some space. There's Mirza. Letitia. Turner again. But Howard Allen asking in full caps how to watch the game. I feel it may be a matter of life and death. So if you are looking to watch the game, it is on Sky Sports. If you're outside the UK, it'll be on whatever your WSL broadcaster is. If you can't find a way to watch it, feel free to join us here. Ramirez. Or even if you can find a way to watch it, don't go anywhere. Here's Sonny Baltimore. Let's give Benaz a foul.
Yeah, just a bit too forceful that on Ramirez. But again, Ramirez had a really good 20 minutes. Just getting better at holding that ball up and being physical. Yeah, Mirza just catches her. That's a good ball in behind. Letitia, though, well defended. Hassled by Ramirez, who was potentially pulled up with a problem there. Yeah, she's done.
For him.
That signal to the bench. It's like it's to the end of Maya Ramirez's injury. Maya Ramirez's evening. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, just chasing after Letitia, and it's just pulled up there.
She hasn't looked fully fit. I think that's the biggest problem over the two legs against Barcelona. She never looked fully fit. Rushed back from injury to be fit for those games. And just battling with Letitia there, you can see she just feels something in her right knee go.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nothing too concerning.
So surely this will see Beaver Jones lead the line and someone else coming out on that right hand side. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's Conrad up to warm up, so you'd assume that's what Chelsea will do if she's unable to continue.
It should be a shame for Chelsea because I think, as I said, 20 minutes, Ramirez looked pretty sharp. Has been, putting herself about and holding that ball up pretty well. But now Chelsea are going to have to rethink that game plan.
Yeah.
An opportunity now for both sides to get some words into their play. I think both managers will appreciate the break. I don't think either side's really going to gain from it. It was a pretty even start, but it's not really happy. It's weird. We're halfway through the first half now, but I wouldn't say it's really a happier camp. Both managers will be pretty content with how the game's going, but they're not fully happy. They both know their sides have got more in the tank.
Yeah. I think so far United will be the happier of the two sides, but
yeah, the fact they're level, I suppose, but overall not been bad. Yeah, it's just Ramirez are going to continue from this.
As David says, Ramirez must take a lot of knocks. She does indeed.
Yeah, nature of our game, and players will react to that nature, that play style.
Well, also players get away with more against her. You can just sort of seem to lump into her a bit more, and refs are more hesitant to give it.
Or even if they do give it, they've still done it.
Yeah.
Because they do, you see it, but players will try and match that physicality, and it does usually end up, because it goes from physicality to just like brute strength and fouling. Yeah, looks like she could try and run it off. Which, to be fair, the way she pulled up didn't look great, and I don't think she can run that off. To be honest, no. I'm not a physio, but that to me does not look like a player who can continue in this little match. I love how, because you can't see Sonia Bombassol's earpiece, it does just look like she's talking to herself. She's just chatting away into the air.
You have to remember, obviously, the earpiece sometimes, but I know what you mean. Had it at the start of the game, Chelsea throw it back. Chelsea will play with 10, then momentarily learn nothing from the Barcelona first leg, where they played 2 minutes of Nursery beyond.
Ramirez was way back. She's going to run it off. That surprises me, because that did not look like a player who was going to run that injury off.
No, the way she grimaced and the physios went, oh well.
Yeah.
I don't think I was there.
Throw her on.
Going back on them,
No, she isn't. She's just continuing until Connery's coming on.
No, okay.
That makes sense. She can just jog around for a bit. Be a prey. If she scores now, what do you do?
Still celebrate. Yeah. Ball in behind, and she'll give it chase. Maya Ramirez, despite being injured.
Yeah, you can tell the way after that run, the way she just finishes off.
Yeah, she's done a little symbol over to the
and choosing, but it's like choosing to jump, right? Because when she jumps, it means that she can then just put the weight, all her weight onto the other leg. Whereas if she carries on running, it's going to keep thinking it. But yeah, so that'll see Carnegie come on soon, which a big game for. I think Carnegie does need a good game. Needs a goal. Carnegie needs a goal. How she didn't score against Crystal Palace, I don't never know.
She had a lot of chances off the bench.
Yeah, Chelsea gonna have a rethink in the attacking department.
Sure, the United fans, they don't look particularly happy.
No, I keep seeing shots of all the fans. No one looks like they want to be here.
Bronze with the heads up. Beaver Jones. That is flagged offside.
And that will help Chelsea now make the change from Maya Ramirez.
Here we go. So Ramirez coming off. John O'Litton, Carnegie coming on. Carnegie will move to the right flank. And Beaver Jones will go on up front. I think captain there, the player, to console Ramirez. It's good to see that sort of leadership in a player of that age.
Yeah. But yeah, a player who does, is an absolute warrior. A lot of pain there, a lot of pain. So Carnegie comes on, Beaver Jones will go through the middle, and this does change the game now, because Chelsea's game plan now goes from using Ramirez as that hold up to getting the ball in behind Beaver Jones, and I'm intrigued to see how that's going to work now. Could potentially play into Chelsea's hands, because I do think that it's probably easy to beat. It's not easier, but Letitia and Turner are two very good centre halves who are very good in the air and very good up against physical strikers. Bit of pace from Beaver Jones, and that ball over the top might just cause a few problems.
Walsh, nice hold up. Now out wide to Neve Charles. Baltimore. Nice touch and turn inside. Walsh.
Oh, wow.
Charles does really well to beat Bizet there. Ball into the box. No one from Chelsea meets it. Falls to Baltimore on the edge. Trying to fashion opportunity to score. Takes it past Riviere, but Clinton gets back in and recovers. That's out for a Chelsea thrown on this near side.
One of those where Chelsea's best cross of the game comes when Maya Ramirez has literally just left the football pitch.
Yeah.
But better from Chelsea. Really, brilliant touch from Charles.
It's a cut back to Charles. Tries to find Walsh. Can't quite. Really good anticipation from Vika, captain to win that out the pitch. Here's Beaver Jones back towards captain. Captain takes shot and it's blocked wide. That will be a Chelsea corner.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Chelsea seem to be ignited in this game.
Yeah, really good stuff. Close quarters football from Beaver Jones and captain. Did that need to go back to captain from Beaver Jones? I think it potentially forced it a little bit, but it's led to a Chelsea corner. And now another chance to try and hit the front from a set piece.
Indeed.
Yeah, I do think Chelsea are just starting to grow into the tendency now. Last 5-10 minutes have probably been the better side.
Corner now then for the Blues. In towards near post. Riviere meets it. I don't feel like I've seen enough corner goals this season from Chelsea, given the height.
I don't think I've seen enough corner goals full stop in the league.
Yeah, I have. Just watched Tottenham.
Yeah, I say, but I mean, like, I'm talking proper player wins their own header, not no one marks them and they just scramble it home from a yard. I want like proper corner.
Baltimore. Now Cuthbert, Bright, Walsh. Nice turn. Finds Bronze. Now here's Cuthbert. Tries to switch the play. It gets over Mallard and Charles hard pressed to get there. Gets a touch net. Can't keep it on though.
Yeah, she couldn't sort her feet out in time, but really, not a great switch that from, was it Cuthbert? Yeah. Got that all wrong and has gifted United the ball back. And it's important for United that when they've got the ball, they've got to use it. When they do get a chance to get the ball down, play their football, they can't afford to give it away. Can't afford to be wasteful. Because they won't get the ball as too often. Riviere has been accused of stealing too much space from the referee, so she'll take this throw in back of it. Probably just to walk up the line again. And here we go. Does eventually take the throw in.
Here's Carnreid. Carries the ball forwards well. Beaver Jones twists and turns. And that is out of play for a United throw. And Riviera again will look to use as much of the touchline as she can. Charleston's the header out for a United throw.
It's good for United just working out the line, just throwing it into that contested area further downfield and then just winning themselves throws off it.
Riviera again. Charles heading it forwards this time and it finds Beaver Jones. Now Carnreid, who pokes it through the captain, who has held her run well. Ball into the box, finds Sandy Baltimore, who looks to take aim, gets a shot away, blocked in there. Baltimore on the right, Carnreid on the left. What's the thinking there?
It's interesting, but that chance just showed us why potentially, I think, favouring Baltimore to try and run at George.
Bronze. Lovely combination with Baltimore. Tries to slide one through. It's just a misplaced pass. Great anticipation, though, to go and chase after that ball. Now Charles. That's the kind of moment for Bronze where if she gets played past, Chelsea are completely open, but she wins the ball and it changes the dynamic of the attack.
Bronze has got to hit it. And then it does fall to Cuthbert, who is on a mission at the moment just to play the worst possible passes towards Niamh Charles. But again, Chelsea turning the ball over and just giving themselves a little bit of control.
Baltimore. Back now to Bright. Germa now. Charles. Wants an option down the line. Carnreid not showing quick enough though. Germa. Walsh back now to Hannah Hampton. And now here's Millie Bright. Bright with a brilliant diagonal. Riviere though cuts it out.
Another piece of superb defending.
And Charles stops Bizet turning. And now Cuthbert will drive inside. Brilliant drive from the Scot. Beaver Jones trying to fashion a chance. Carnreid. Someone's got a shot. I'm trying to play around the penalty area. Baltimore now, and they can't quite stab one goal.
So Chelsea have got to pull the trigger. Just trying to pass it into the goal.
Bronze again battles well. Chelsea throw. Galton forcing to putting it out.
Really good football again, but Beaver Jones should shoot, lays it to Carnreid. Carnreid should shoot, lays it to Cuthbert. Cuthbert does shoot and it's blocked.
And then to Baltimore, it doesn't shoot.
Yeah. Chelsea got to get shots off. Got to Taylor Joyce is a really good goalkeeper, but they've got to test her.
Especially when you're in a 6-yard box.
Yeah.
Bronze trying to drive towards the penalty area, forced to Walsh. Holds onto the ball well. Tries to play to Baltimore, but it's a poor pass.
Chelsea just overplaying it, overcomplicating it. No, because again, it does happen when you have tough results. No one wants to take that risk. No one wants to have that shot and actually, and put it wide. Everyone's so fixated on just passing it into the goal and getting the perfect opportunity to shoot from. Someone's just got to take a gamble and a risk. Have a go. Paul, it's not even a risk if you're 7 yards out. You have a shot. Can't go horrendously.
Yeah.
Cuthbert driving through lines. Not a bad ball in. Carnreid will get there first as she ran out. Not quite sure what the decision is there. Give us a corner.
Furious. Not sure really. What about? We'll have a look. I
think it'll be interesting. It came off her last the second time, but did Carnreid run it out the first time? Don't think so. So yeah, that is a corner. Yeah, Carnreid doesn't. Yeah, here's a corner.
Hits Carnreid again, but it's off the pitch by that point. Ball into the box. Bright, let's go, and Charles just putting over the bar. But Chelsea, since that Ramirez change, last 8 minutes, last 7 minutes, have had all of the chances.
First corner that got through at the front post, didn't get again. Riviere should have headed it away, but that time she missed it. Corners have got to be better from Chelsea. Baltimore's just fizzing these towards the head of Riviere every time. Luckily that one got through and shut, but because it fizzed through, Charles couldn't really react either.
Yeah. And 20 touches in the opposition box for Chelsea, 65% possession to 35% possession.
Just got to start testing.
But they've only had one shot more.
Yeah.
And both the same amount of shots on target. Got to be putting Taylor's Choice under a bit more pressure. I know United defence is really good. They limit shots. They limit you to areas that are really difficult to get shots away from. But gotta test them all.
But you also got to try and catch them out. You've got to shoot from places that they don't expect you to. If they're going to force you into weird places, then just have a go before they can do that. Might be further out, might be more difficult, but
Does really well to self the pressure there. Back now to Hampton, who will just launch it forwards. Looking now for the run of Carnareed, headed away by Turner. Miyazawa's touch isn't convincing, and Cuthbert tries to pounce on it. Riviere's clearance even less convincing. There's no physicality up there. Beaver Jones does well. Baltimore back towards Beaver Jones. Blocked though by Letitia. Baltimore look to take on my Letitia. Ball into the box. Headed away by Gabby George. Chelsea corner again.
Really smart this from Sondi Baltimore. Rather than running at Letitia, Baltimore gives herself a touch wide, which means Letitia won't be able to close that ball down. Here, it's a brilliant touch. Just takes it a little bit just wider and just knocks it out in front of her. That's a really important header from George to deny Carnareed. Really good stuff from Baltimore, but a brilliant piece of defending again from Manchester United. And Gabby George that time at the back post.
That's and a ball in. And a chance for Chelsea. Not dealt with here by United. Bronze trying to fashion a shot. Now to Cuthbert and they'll rework it. Cuthbert thought about pulling the trigger. Goes to Bright. Bright now does take aim through bodies. Put that on the floor and Tyler's Joyce with a comfortable claim.
Pace, that's that. Beaver Jones should just got to try and probably flick that. Try and do something.
I don't know why Bright looks to shoot from there.
No. Yeah, but she does. She's got to catch it better. But Chelsea again, still keeping the pressure on. That corner was much better. They just couldn't use it. It fell to Bronze. There was no point in her shooting because there was like 5 people in the way. But she didn't have anyone to lay it into behind her.
Riviere. Into Bizet now. Miyazawa. Forced back to Letitia. Now Turner and United will switch from the right to the left. Or maybe not. Turner plays a direct ball forwards, cut out there by Neve Charles. Now Carnareed. Don't know what that pass is. Mallard in on goal. Chance for United. Really good goalkeeping. Then makes a hash of it. Chance for United again. Falls to Clinton. Brilliant save over the bar.
What a mess from Chelsea. Go out full control of this first 30 minutes or so.
What is this pass from Carnareed?
Pass. Mallard makes a meal of it.
Hampton does well to hold it up. It just can't get to the ball. Falls to Clinton. Brilliant save from Hampton.
Well reacted. Clinton does the right thing. She puts it into the one area of the goal that isn't taken up at the moment, but Hampton reacts well. But Chelsea really skittish under that pressure. I know the error comes from Carnareed, but then just no one deals with it. So they're a complete mess from there, and Hampton with the recovery save. But for Chelsea, for the fact that they've looked they've looked comfortable and they have been the better side for the last 10, 15 minutes, got to be careful that moments like that don't happen more often. Or at all, really. But yeah, now United are going to have a corner and a chance to put more pressure onto that Chelsea backline. Nervy moment, that was a big moment.
Indeed, and talking to there the referee between Turner and Bronze. And again, United will start their train. It's played short this time, though. Back to George, now Riviere. Could look to swing this in. Will drive forwards now back to George, who is in acres of space. Swings it on her right foot. Cut out by Bright only as far as Bizet. That's blocked. And that will go out for a Chelsea throw. For a United throw.
Chelsea's watching United play around their corner routine. Really, it was really good from Riviere because what she did is you either expect her to drive inside or knock it out wide, and she did both. She terced at the touch inside and then quickly laid it out and just caught Chelsea napping. Wasn't a bad ball from George either, but United are building.
Riviere.
Foul throw given against Jade Riviere.
Mallard can't keep it in anyway.
Really poor from Riviere. Just throws it into the ground, doesn't go fully behind her head.
So as it stands, Chelsea would be crowned champions of the Women's Super League for the 6th time in a row.
Would certainly be something. Long way to go in this football match, though. Still an hour
Germa.
of football we played. No, it's not.
Back now to Hampton. Germa again. And now Walsh. Baltimore. Walsh. Now back to Naomi Germa. Here's Vika captain. Bright. Hampton. Now Bright. Back to Hannah Hampton. And we'll launch that ball forwards. Headed away by Turner. Falls now to George. And here's Leah Galton. Letitia. Turner. Pass into Gabby George. Clinton now carries the ball, finds or looks for Letitia, passes past her centre back. Turner carries it out well. Forward pass is intercepted there by Bronze, and Chelsea will look to bring it the other way. Ball hoofed up the line. It's going to go to Turner.
So it's incredible how one moment can completely shift the momentum.
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea made an error, United got a sniff, and now United have got a foot into this football match now.
I've got a bit of stranglehold in this game. They're just dictating the tempo a bit. Riviere ball into the box, dealt with well by Germa, hooked away by Charles. And now Beaver Jones will hold that ball up. Here is Sandy Baltimore. Charles. Walsh doing well there. They're going to take players on. Clinton competes. Walsh wins it back.
No,
not silly there from Charles. Chelsea win it back, and now they'll look to break. Captain receives it from Sandy Baltimore. Charles tries to play it inside. Captain now hounding these United players.
There's a lot of running backwards for Chelsea at times in this match so far. Chelsea don't bat again. They don't bat themselves to take players on or to be bold. Too many, just trying to recycle it and yeah, it's really weird to see.
Yeah.
It's just creeping in at moments rather than playing the you'll see a player hold the ball up, lay it backwards, and then expect to get the game moving, and that ball just go backwards again and again.
Someone says next season will be a thriller. Arsenal had a poor start. City will have players back. United will be sharp. Villa hungry, and Arsenal might have a good backup keeper. It should be a good next season, getting a bit of ahead of ourselves, though this one isn't over just yet. Though we do only have 9 days left of the current campaign. Junior Pinnock, welcome to the stream. Good to see you.
Oh, that ball from Baltimore nearly reaching Capty. Well intercepted again, though, by Letitia.
And no summer footballers don't stop running, ever. If you stop running, you're doing something wrong.
Yes. If you ever stand still on a football pitch, you should just get off the pitch. But yeah.
No, you're always moving, though. Probably not full pelt sprinting. And, well, this Sunday, an exciting moment. Sky Sports, for the first time, broadcasting championship action.
Yeah.
Obviously, the top of the table clash between Birmingham City and London City Lionesses.
Crucial game.
We're just going to decide who comes up to WSL next season.
I don't know who I want it to be. I don't really have
this is the last stream we're going to do before that game, so who do you reckon it will be?
I will go Birmingham. Just be different.
I was going to say London City, I reckon.
So I think everyone's going to see London City.
That's just the fact they can draw the game.
That is true, yeah.
Does help them.
I think Chelsea need half time more than Man United do. And I think this is also the consequence of not really rotating the 11 from Sunday, because Chelsea do look a little bit knackered.
Someone says, have you guys seen what's happening to Wolves women?
I did see that.
I'm going to get mixed up now between Wolves and Hull.
Wolves were the ones where they have been pushing promotional season, and they found out they didn't go up, but they found out at the end of the season that their they never applied to go up, which is ridiculous. Oh, that's clumsy from Bright.
Mallard, it's blocked. Force for Goughton. Chance for United. Blocked by Germer. Mallard trying to keep this alive. And now Chelsea can break away. Yeah, I did see that. So they were runners up to Forest, weren't they?
Yeah.
But they found out they would have never been able to go up even if they'd won the league because they hadn't
Ridiculous.
applied for it. Really poor. Hull's situation arguably worse. Not that it's a competition, but their co-owner's been mismanaging the finances for ages, just fiddling them and stuff. And loads of people have come out that was a penalty. That's clumsy from Bright. Very lucky there. I mean, advantage was played. United used that advantage to have a shot, but it was still a penalty.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because it should be pulled back. But yeah, I think Millie Bright's got away with one there.
Phil says, I think Chelsea will spend huge this summer. Boosting the money around the women's team will be beneficial for the UEFA spending rules for the men's team. Oh, yeah. I think Chelsea will want to try and push on. We saw the investment in January. I think that was misguided somewhat. I thought Germer a brilliant signing. I thought Walsh was a panic buy. Just to try and push the Champions League. But, yeah, in terms of where they may address, I think they should be looking at a right back, but won't. Because I like Ash Lawrence. I think she's done really well this season. Ultimately, she should probably stay, but I don't think they'll. I think they'll just keep Bronze as a backup and should bring in a starting right back. Ultimately, they probably won't do that. I think right wing could be a position to look at, but equally, if Trinity Rodman's done a back in, that's not someone you can look at right now. Sophia Wilson's pregnant. It's not a transfer you can make happen right now. A lot of the big assets that Chelsea would have been looking at not available right now.
Unsurprisingly, Mark Skinner has had a few words for the fourth official after that challenge from Bright on Clinton. They look friendly, but he still had a few words nonetheless.
And this one was a
little
knock.
I'm not entirely sure though how Goughton has hurt the front of her head if Bronze was coming from behind her. I'm no physio or doctor, but that would say that's not possible.
Yeah. I agree with you, Lousy, as well. Chelsea really looked tired this stage of the season. Though says I want Bright phased out. I don't think Bright's done a huge amount wrong. I think everyone in the defence made a mistake on Sunday, as we'll analyse tomorrow.
Rotated, yes, not phased out. That's poor watch from Germer.
I mean, obviously, Chelsea will look at the long-term replacement. I think the long-term replacement stood
what
right next
to What is going on?
I don't know.
Millie Bright just levered the ball at Erin Cuthbert in an attempt to clear it.
Here's Walsh. Now Germer.
Chelsea need the half-time whistle now.
I think I underestimate Walsh in future Chelsea sides. I think I do. I don't think she fits the way Chelsea want to play. I mean, maybe Chelsea will change their whole play style, but she suits much more Man City and Barcelona type football, which is much slower. I don't want to play that kind of football.
Neither does Sonia Von Pastor.
Well, I hope not.
Another poor pass. Is that sign from Bright?
Ball out to the left-hand side. Goughton looks to cut it back. Header towards goal, but wide from Beasley.
Chelsea at 6s and 7s at the back, and Man United will hope this half never ends. Chelsea, though, will be hoping and have got their hope as that half-time whistle goes.
Yeah, they just look absolutely knackered. And that is the half-time whistle. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. An action-packed first half. But the scores remain even, and Maria with probably the easiest bit of analysis, and I completely agree. Germer, very good tonight so far. Let's start there then. Germer's been brilliant, but only because United have had a lot of chances.
Yeah, Germer has played well, but as you say, United, especially towards the end of the half, were really pushing Chelsea's buttons there and asking questions of the, as it stands, soon-to-be champions. But there's a long way to go. There's a big half coming up. I think it was the first half that Chelsea did start, but it started pretty evenly. Then Chelsea really stepped it up a gear. But by doing that, I think Chelsea were knackered come the 35th minute. And then suddenly it was 10 minutes where United had full control and really put Chelsea under a lot of pressure. And as you say, it wasn't for tackles from Germer and some really important blocks in there from numerous players, then United could potentially be leading in this football match. And again, we saw Hannah Hampton's pulled off a good save. They've had a couple of headers go wide and over the bar. Chelsea did ride their luck in the last couple of minutes of that half. It's really interesting how the second half plans out, because if Chelsea don't make changes, is it just going to be the same thing? They play really well and they come out and they play fast and flowing football for 20 minutes, but then they end up just falling off a cliff. It's going to be interesting to see, especially that they've already used one sub as well. So
yeah,
there's a lot for Chelsea to think about in this position. I think Chelsea, at this point in the match, if you tell Sophie Bombastor you will take a point and win the WSL today, she would absolutely take that right now, because United were really causing some issues at the end of that half, and they've got the players to cause problems. They could put themselves in a brilliant position with a win today. So there's a lot riding on this second half, but that is when we see the best players shine. That is when we see championship winning material, come to life.
Yeah, Chelsea's good half, I think, puts it quite nicely. Both teams seems like they're on a first date with each other, kind of sussing each other out.
I really like
asking those probing questions.
I might even nick that. That's brilliant.
That's your new analysis.
That is a brilliant piece of analysis. Yeah, it is like that, and there's a little bit of nerves from both sides. And
so what do you do for a living?
Yeah, just some of the random generic questions being asked. No, but there are nerves from both sides, because they both know what's riding on this football match, and they're just going to have to. They'll work it out in the second half. But that's the thing. The team who do work it out are going to reap the rewards from this match. They are going to win this game. It's whether who is going to work it out first. Will it be United or will it be Chelsea?
Indeed. Antonio says both teams look clumsy and not sharp. I think United have looked decent in attacking areas. Don't get me wrong, It's not been perfect, but I think they've looked decent in attacking areas. Just Chelsea defensively, it's been a bit of a mess so far.
Yeah.
Riding their luck at times. Gome has been absolutely immense. Some huge game-saving blocks.
And I think that the only reason United look a little bit skittish at the back is because it's the way Chelsea are coming forward. Chelsea's attack has been very clunky, and they've always overplayed it, which as a defence is hard to deal with, because you don't really know what the opposition are going to do with the ball. In times where you expect Chelsea to shoot, they play one more pass, and then suddenly players have got to run over there and get there because they weren't expecting it to happen. So it's hard to defend sometimes when sides overplay it, but at the end of the day, it means you don't concede, because Chelsea are just overthinking at the moment in attacking areas.
Lousy says that the lack of rotation for Million and Lucy will be an issue, and this is what we've been speaking about for ages. I was really frustrated when we saw Lucy Bronze come on against Crystal Palace, and that was a completely stupid substitution. I know we needed to get Bright off, but what was the point in bringing on Lucy Bronze to play 45 minutes against a game that was already done?
Really?
Medicine Pomay ended up playing 30 minutes anyway. Could she not have stretched that to 45?
No offence to Palace, but Erin Cuthbert could have done 45 minutes there.
That's the thing.
Anyone
and
really.
That is another player who's played a lot, but Nuskin could have played there.
Yeah.
Who hasn't played loads under Sonia Bonpastor. So, I just think it needs to be better team management slightly. It's not that bad. I think Chelsea's certainly better than the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal. And Manchester United's yet to be seen, because obviously they didn't play in Europe this year, but how they adjust next season to that, and whether or not Skinner gets a squad that he's happy to rotate will be very interesting. But I think it's still an area that Chelsea could do better. And again, it's another area where I think there is probably a bit of a gap to the likes of Barcelona and Lyon, where Barcelona play a pretty much completely different 11 in Liga F, and they still look incredibly strong. Lyon have loads of options. They've got 5 of the best strikers in the world on their books, and that certainly helps. But yeah, I think Chelsea need to be better at using that full squad, and not just once they get injuries, then using those players.
Yeah, 100%. But as you say, on the flip side, this is the Man United side, who have 9 days to prepare for this football match. I'm sure Mark Skinner has put every single minute of those 9 days into working out how on earth he can finally. No, he has pulled 8 all nighters.
Very good for a man who hasn't slept.
He does, but that's how much he wants to beat Chelsea. And do you know what? It really does feel like this is their best shot. They should have had a penalty. And you have to. I think It's a penalty. It is a penalty. Bright doesn't get the ball.
Yeah.
It cleans out Clinton. I'm surprised there's not a bigger appeal from anyone in United.
Agreed. I think VAR gives it the only defence I'd have to it, and not that I still think it's definitely a foul, but she does get the pass off before she's fouled.
She does.
So I think that would have a slight. It's not like United lost the chance and Chelsea won the ball back. United played on. So yeah, it's a penalty, but it's not like United lost everything from that opportunity. So I don't think they can feel too aggrieved by it.
No.
But yeah, that's coming from a Chelsea fan. United fans are going to disagree, of course. Shannon says, I think this is a game made better too. Lots of space in between the Chelsea defence and midfield. Yeah, surprising amount. That's where Walsh should be covering. But
what do United do? Does Skinner stick with what he's done, or does he go for it now? Does he see there's an opportunity? Chelsea look knackered. Does he see that? Does he try and take the opportunity? I'm not saying at half time he's going to throw on Ella Toon and go like 4-2-4 and try and win the game. But I think Skinner will be in. He won't say it because that'd be really daft to say it to his players. But in his head, he'll be thinking this is their best opportunity to beat Chelsea.
Yeah.
In the game that probably won't mean anything, but to Skinner it means the world.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, it's been messy from Chelsea.
Well,
at
it
times.
could mean something. It could get them champions. It could get them second place, which would be really important. Potentially for Champions League qualifier.
And if they do win tonight, it means that they can't be caught by Man City.
Someone says, "God damn, I'm so excited for my football season. I have to wait till September." Yeah,
that is. But we've got the Euros. We've got so much going on.
Euros.
I can't honestly. Like now that it's Barcelona. No offense to any Barcelona or Arsenal fans watching, but. Now that there's Barcelona Arsenal Champions League final, I just want to, after the end of the season, just jump to the Euros.
Well, we'll have that, and then after that, we'll have 13 more videos. No, 12 more videos, analysing all the WSL team seasons.
Yeah.
WSL's then done. And then we're on to Euros previews, Euros action. That's when I start to get excited.
Just me, we're going to write a new Euros theme tune. Should we do a song? Should we make a song?
Cover of Three Lions, but it's Three Lionesses.
Yeah.
That would be
coming to your screen. June. Oh, brilliant.
That's one word for it. Shadow says pressing Chelsea high up isn't the way to go. Chelsea has too much pace out wide to exploit us, especially on our left-hand side.
Might be right because Chelsea might just play 7 passes, get into the penalty area, and then just kick it off the pitch because that has seemed to be the game plan so far. It's
going to take a shot
again. It's something that we associate with the other top sides, but not Chelsea.
Yeah,
it's something we saw Arsenal do under Ida. It's something we always see Man City do in every game they've ever played. But Chelsea really overplaying it today. But this is where a Sam Kerr or a Lauren James or a Guro Wright will just pick the ball up and score and just shoot.
Even a Kat Macaro who's actually fit and able to play.
And I think that is definitely a substitution we should see because Macaro will just pick it up on the edge and have a go. Yeah. And if it goes over, it goes over. But the Chelsea have got to start testing Tyler's choice.
Someone says also, what do you think of this tournament in Spain, the 5-a-side one? In my opinion, these players have no rest as it is. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on injuries. I don't think anyone's going to be playing at 100%. I'll wait and see. It might be fun to watch. I thought I'd hate Ball League more than I do. It's quite amusing, so maybe 5-a-side.
It's Mark Chapman refereeing.
God, I hope not. But I don't understand why they're doing it in the run to the Champions League final. I feel like
that doesn't motivate me.
We need more excitement around the Champions League final. Yeah. Do we? It's the Champions League final.
Yeah, you don't need
exciting enough.
You don't need an advert for the biggest game of the season.
Yeah,
it speaks for itself. But I really hope that all those other sides take it really don't take it seriously. And Mark Skinner rocks like Man United and they're playing some beautiful football.
I just don't get it. If there's interest, we may stream it. I don't know how to watch it.
No, probably be on YouTube.
Probably just filmed on someone's phone.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah. Someone's already got some ideas going. Maybe we should. We need to get all the women's football pundits and stuff involved, like they did for the David Baddiel.
Oh yeah.
The other guy on it.
Should we get any Lugo on?
Lugo, Ian Wright. They can do a verse back to back.
Yeah.
That's we reunite.
Alex Scott, Farrell Williams. There's so many options. Not sure how we'd even start that, but we can dream.
Just DM them.
Yeah.
We're doing, Ian.
They'd probably do it without us, to be honest. Yeah. We're probably
the expendable bit.
Yeah.
We'll give them the idea, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, great idea." So yeah,
and then they'll just go, "We don't need you then." What, we've got Alex Scott. What do we need you? Yeah. Big 45 minutes. It feels weird that Chelsea are 45 minutes away from being crowned champions of the WSL.
Yeah, because they're not played incredibly well.
No.
But provided they don't concede in the next 45 minutes, they will be WSL champions.
Winning the league because Arsenal lost 5-2 to Aston Villa and you drew 0-0. It's very underwhelming circumstances to confirm a league title compared to 6-0 on the final day on goal difference last season. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be very difficult to match that in any season going forwards. But
shows us to recreate John Barnes' iconic rap from the 1990 England World Cup song.
World in Motion. What again, will be pretty difficult.
From defence to attack, we'll go around the back. Yeah, I'm well fucking. It's a master plan. I'm well up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
See what John Barnes is doing. Hi, John. New idea.
Now we've got who's a similar player. Who'd be the John Barnes of the England squad now?
What a question that is on the title deciding WSL match of the season.
I can see Beaver Jones rapping. She likes singing a lot in
Katie Cox does, but she's not really England. Just never been called up for England.
No, that would be a slight problem.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Beaver Jones can sing, so that would be something.
She could do the World in Motion bit and Katie Cox can rap it.
Yeah.
Again, we're not involved.
No, they don't need us at all. Oh dear. But yeah, Beaver Jones will be hoping that she can
go around the back.
Yes.
From defence to attack.
Perform Sonia Bonpastor's master plan and win Chelsea the WSL. Because that's what they need. They need some firepower.
What's the Manchester Derby on Sky Sports Plus, by the way, this week?
Because it's Sunday. There's loads of things going on Sunday. You go look at everything that's happening. That's why this the same with the Women's Championship games also on Plus.
Okay, like Brighton Newcastle.
That is true. Put that on Sky Sports Plus.
That's rubbish.
But yeah, big 45 minutes. Chelsea need a reaction. If this game continues the way it did in the first half, I think that man right there, Mark Skinner, will be very happy. And that is, I like watching these half-time highlights because Bonpastor was absolutely furious as she walked off half-time. The earpiece got thrown on the floor. Oof. Maybe she's just angry at Camille, to be fair. Maybe nothing to do with the football game. They've just had an argument on the pitch.
Rangers Celtics on Sky Sports at 12 o'clock over the Manchester Derby.
The season's over.
Celtic have won the league. Oh. Who cares?
What a load of rubbish.
Man City.
One of the biggest games of the WSL season. Instead, we're going to watch Scottish football.
And then Tottenham Chelsea is on BBC. Watch that on the train.
Yes. So Chelsea don't win the league tonight. They will most probably win the league on Sunday.
Hopefully.
Right. Will we see a reaction? I'm intrigued to see any subs. I think the problem is because Chelsea already used one, Bonpastor will be reluctant to make another one. But let's see. Is she feeling bold? Is someone just too tired?
I still have my shirts from the 90 World Cup and something. Not me, not even being born then, Phil. Yeah.
That is absurd, by the way, yeah. I don't even know what my oldest English shirt would be.
No, I've got some old ones.
Oh yeah, you've bought old ones, but
I think the oldest one I've got is 2006 or 8.
Terry.
No, I've got the Lampard, the red one.
Oh yes. Go see that at the Euros. What's this year's shirt? Do we get a new Euros?
Yeah, you've not seen it?
No. Have they worn it before?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's leaked. They haven't released it yet.
Oh, right.
But it is out.
Is it worth buying?
You could be the judge of that.
Okay. Both sides are out for the second half. Doesn't look to be any changes for either team. No. Same Chelsea 11, same United 11, same 22, battling it out in the next 45 minutes.
That.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'm buying that. That's incredible.
There you go.
I like that. That is a good football.
It takes inspiration off of the 90s one, doesn't it?
Yeah, I really like that.
The 1982 one, not the 90s
Well,
one.
Mark Skinner is eating Jaffa cakes.
Can't show it. No. There you go.
No.
You can see the blue and the red.
Yeah, what a shirt that is. But yeah. Big 45 minutes. Will Chelsea win the league, or will United jump into second? Oh, we're underway.
There we go. United get us back underway here at the League Sports Village. Bronson in that early header. Can't really try and keep it in play. Knocks it out. And that is a Manchester United throw. Someone says I'm young enough to play in the 2035 home tournament if I can achieve my dream of going pro. Go on, Summer. It would be brilliant if we have a viewer at the Euro.
Yeah. Then you can
that
get...
will mean we're one less viewer in stream, though.
We're still here in 20 months. No.
Well, we might. I reckon we'll be hopefully a slightly bigger studio.
All my days, Millie Bright turns it towards her own goal, but Hannah Hampton reacts, who laughs at it. I'm not sure Millie Bright or any Chelsea fans were laughing, but at least Hannah Hampton found the funny side.
I actually claimed it. So all's well that ends well.
That is true.
Hampton the ball in her hands. What was it? To Naomi Germer. Now Baltimore. No, tries to play out from there. I'm not sure why she's receiving the ball in there. Mallard strikes, saved well by Hampton. Bize keeps it alive. Germer gets it gone. Why is Baltimore dropping into the half space that deep?
And then trying to spin out and take on Jade Riviere, who has probably been the best one-on-one defender.
She had no passing option there.
No.
So what was the game plan? She beats Riviere and then she's away.
We laugh and then just ran off laughing.
That's a huge reliance on individual on a 1v1 there.
Yeah, Chelsea just look a little bit lost, which is not the position you should be in when you could potentially win the league tonight.
I mean, that there needs to just be a bounce pass.
Yeah.
Because you've drawn Riviere in. Baltimore receives it, bounce back to Germer, opens up the space down that left-hand side for Beaver Jones and the like who've come across. But, yeah. And Charles nods that out of play, but it is given as a foul.
I think she was kicking the head, wasn't she?
Well, Summer hates the England shirt for the Euros.
Why? I love it.
I get bored with that. And yeah, Phil, I agree. Chelsea look mentally tired.
Yeah, yellow for Mallard then.
She's still complaining. At this rate, it's going to be a second yellow. If she keeps on like that.
Yeah.
Charles has scooted back.
So smart. That is so smart.
I'll see a replay of that then.
Was she kicked in the face?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Some venom as well. That's the reaction then from the Chelsea players.
I think Melvin Mallard should stop complaining about a yellow card. And
I don't know
what
what frustration is there.
No.
Because a high boot swung. If VAR's an operation, she's gone because they'd go, oh my god, that's terrifying.
That's a red card.
God.
She's kicked her in the face.
Oh yeah, and the force used.
Yeah.
That's just serious foul play. She's filmed it well. She's gonna have a boot mark now.
Yeah, you can see it on top of her forehead. Any referee course or manual should have that as 101 of endangering an opponent, and using excessive force. Wow, Mallard's got away with one that.
Yeah, should be that, and then a list of every time Joe Barton's made an appearance in the Football League.
Yeah.
There's Baltimore.
Again, Chelsea seems to be relying on Baltimore to beat whoever's behind her to get forwards.
Now Bronze, back to Bright. I really can't stand the change to a single pivot.
No.
It just hasn't worked in any... I think there's been like one game it worked.
City away.
Really successfully, yeah.
Jean-Francois in the pivot.
But with Charles, with Walsh in there, who we've redesigned the entire system for, it has not worked.
To be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm not too surprised with it not working. The thing that surprised me is the stubbornness from Bonpastor. I really thought match fair quality would have just gone, right, it's not working, so we should go backwards.
And maybe that's something you look at over the summer.
Yeah.
As changing your entire shape, but not in February.
No.
Personally. In an invincible season we're going for the Champions League, I wouldn't change my tactic in February.
For one player.
Yeah.
That is a massive mark on...
Unless that player is Aitana Bonmati, in which case, crack on.
Yeah, do what you want. You should do what she tells you to. Yeah, that is going to be a sore one for Neve Charles in the morning. Just a cut. Just a pretty thick one, pretty long one, just across her forehead. Man United corner They've started well, United, again. Picked up where they left off in the first half.
Ball in. And it's gone through
Wow.
everyone there. Bit of a let-off for Chelsea, but no one from United seemed particularly interested. Miyazawa tries to cross it in. It's a foot race between her and Carnery. She does win that race. Letitia now to Riviere. Beaver Jones will give chase. Ball goes out to the wide player here, who is Celine Bizet. Wants to take on Charles. Feeds it through to Dominic Janssen. Cut back is cut out by Germer. And now Walsh will look to play out. Carnery tries to go back to Walsh. Walsh doesn't anticipate it. George does well to hold off the Swede. Finds Galton.
Chelsea got nothing. Chelsea looked
George.
empty.
Flips it towards the back post. Bizet reacts quickest. That's a really good stop from Hannah Hampton, but Charles caught out. Germer caught out. Bizet almost found the opener.
No one wants to deal with it. No one in a Chelsea shirt took responsibility here to deal with the situation.
Why are you trying to see it out there, Charles?
I don't
It
know.
is right on your shoulder.
And it put, no, again, another really good stop from Hannah Hampton. It's moving slowly, but she reacts really well. And tell you what, Hannah Hampton is single-handedly going to carry Chelsea to a point here at this rate.
Which could sit in the leg.
Yeah.
No idea what they're giving it. It's a Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, Baltimore just too aggressive.
That's Chelsea free kick.
Was it?
Yeah, it's for the initial foul. This is the anger. I mean, Skinner's gone ballistic. I think Baltimore's the second foul, but he's given the first foul here, the referee. Where Bizet does drag Charles down. So I'm not really... Not really sure what the complaint can be there. Because that is quite a blatant foul.
The problem is they happen they all like that was synchronised fouls.
Yeah.
I understand the frustration.
Skinner and the fourth
I did think he was going to knock the fourth official out. The way he was staring down at her initially, but he has now calmed down. Chelsea haven't been in Man United's third in the second half yet.
What is happening? They haven't been United's half.
No. 91% of players been in Chelsea.
That's been United's recycling it.
Chelsea haven't got out.
Got to move it.
And now they've ran it out. That's too far out. Got to stay within the lines of the pitch. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. Yeah, players being called back to the bench from Chelsea. Understandably so, because they need something. This is good. That is smart from Chelsea because they're reacting. They're not reacting. They're being proactive before they need to react.
But we saw this in the first half. So did we need to see 7 minutes in the second half?
That is
it's still happening.
I think there'd been a reluctance because they'd already made a change.
Yeah.
And if you make 1 or 2 changes at half time, you leave yourself going into.
So I mean, Janssen straight down the throat of Hampton.
Who will take a minute smartly.
Yeah, just slow it.
Yeah. Give whoever's coming on a chance to put their socks on and get their bib off.
Arduous tasks.
Yeah.
Beaver Jones. Lovely bit of movement there from Neve Charles. Back to Beaver Jones. It's Cuthbert.
Can't quite see who that is. Looks like it could be Lawrence.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Oh, what a ball from
Ball
Bronze.
played into that half space. Nice run from captain. He'll put pressure on Miyazawa. Does sit back well to Tyler's Joyce there.
Well, to fair that from Miyazawa, because that did look like there for a minute or two that the captain was going to get there. But Chelsea just showed that they can, when they can move that ball quicker. And they can still... the ball's in United's penalty area for the first time in the half, so that's the positive. So that's Chelsea to keep that ball there. And again, United are the ones with the control at the moment. Bit isolated though, United players. We've got a shot here where it's just 4 blue and 4 bright red shirts and no one else is anywhere near.
Signed to Baltimore. Now Beaver Jones. Walsh. Charles. Baltimore. Beaver Jones takes aim. It's the 11 Chelsea Cuthbert saved by Tyler's Joyce. Brilliant stop.
Wow.
It was a messy one initially for Talis Joyce, but she does well to recover it.
But that's why you shoot. That is why you shoot in football. Beaver Jones has just picked it up, one touch, released the trigger, and it's caused all sorts of problems. Was it saved from Talis Joyce into Carnareed, and then back? That's what it looked like. And Carnareed obviously just couldn't react to it. Need to see that one back. But then a brilliant follow-up save to deny cuff, but
yeah,
superb goalkeeping. But better from Chelsea. And again, that's all it took was Beaver Jones to take a touch and pull the trigger.
Here's Bright. Now Beaver Jones trying to play that pass forward. Good anticipation from Gabby George. And now they'll look to break here, United. Layer goal to Carlton. Mallard has been under control, which again, because Bronze is completely out of position, that is fortunate.
Yeah, let's have a look back at this. Brilliant from Beaver Jones. Doesn't mess around, just gets it out of feet, shoots. Yeah, Talis Joyce saves it into the path of Carnareed, and Carnareed just can't react to it. Really good from Beaver Jones. Good save from Talis Joyce. Yeah, parries it into the midriff of Carnareed, and Cuthbert just tries to smash it past the United bodies, and Talis Joyce with a big outstretched leg to get there. Nuskin's on for Chelsea. I like that. Bit of energy in the midfield.
Not a sub, she just ran on. Cuthbert coming.
12 on the picture, Chelsea. No.
Yeah, Erin Cuthbert, that's going to be a loss for Chelsea in there, but she has played a lot of football.
Yeah.
So I get it. And she does look knackered.
Genuinely, it looks like she was going to last night. As much as Guro's like comforting her and being nice, Guro should be out there warming up, surely.
Get her on.
Yeah. Big pals afterwards once Chelsea have won the league.
Gabby George sends it up the line. Gatton flicks it inside. Walsh. Now Bronze. It's quite amusing because at this rate, Chelsea could end up on less points than they were last season, but go invincible.
That is incredible.
I think that's
there though. That pass from Walsh,
drawn loads recently,
just backwards, has just put Bronze under so much pressure.
Okay, no, they can't. Last season they finished on 55 though. This season they're currently on 52. Although they could, if they got the last two games of the season, 54. They would finish on 54. They would win the league invincible with less points than they did last season.
Wow.
But Arsenal was invincible.
Would take something from Tottenham, to be honest, on Sunday.
That's true. They'd have to hold Chelsea, which was impossible, or score as many as Chelsea, which was impossible.
Yeah. United with another corner. They believe they've got a really good opportunity. If they keep this pressure up, they could get something from this football match easily. And again, short corner. This time Chelsea have reacted to it though, and they've managed to force United backwards as well and win the ball back. Really much better from Chelsea. And now they've got to go.
Bronze lifts it in behind. It's Riviere against Carnareed. It's Talis Joyce who's going to win that race. And should get back to a goal. Villa boys went to the stream. Says up the Villa. A little bit late, mate, but welcome to the stream.
Yeah. Big win earlier. Huge win earlier.
Indeed.
That means that Chelsea...
Performance.
Yeah, it is possible for Chelsea to win the league tonight. If it wasn't for Villa. Put on a masterclass, it has to be said. Then...
Yeah.
This game would not impact the title proceedings. Well, it would, but not the confirmation of the title. Chelsea have... better. Chelsea that's not a sentence that doesn't make any sense.
Chelsea have better. Welcome to the Women's Football.
Chelsea have been better. They've still not been great, but they're getting better, growing into the second half.
Well, that's our new intro. Trailer. Ball through to Nuskin. It's
Big
blocked.
tackle. Big tackle.
Block from Janssen. I'm not sure how that ends up going off the pitch though.
No, Talis Joyce like she's going to get there. Really good football. Beaver Jones slots it through the gap to Nuskin, who
He just sped up so much.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, it's a good tackle.
The ball
really
gains
good recovery tackle. Yeah, skidding on the surface. Chelsea corner. That's what Nuskin's on there for. Bring a bit of legs and get into promising positions.
So Chelsea over this again. Then Sandy Baltimore delivering it in towards the 6-yard box. Talis Joyce not convincingly away. Chelsea will look to recycle this now. Charles up against Melvin Mallard. Now back to Carnareed. This is much more consistent from Chelsea now.
Yeah.
keeping that ball ticking over, but the chances just aren't of a high enough quality really to trouble such a strong United defence. Best defensive side in the league this season, lead the league in all the defensive statistics, least goals conceded, most clean sheets.
United have called 2 players back to the bench as well, so they're looking to go for the game.
Pressure on Tullis Joyce and almost caught her out there. Ball does get launched forwards.
Again, it's another good showing of really good management. United were playing well, so Chelsea reacted with a change. Chelsea are now going back to the game, so United are going to react with a double themselves.
Yeah.
Both managers are really competing with each other right now as much as their teams are. Half an hour to play.
Which manager do you think we're happy with the draw?
I think
it's really difficult because as much as you automatically go, well, United will be happy with a point, I think Skinner will be fuming.
Skinner will look at it as a missed opportunity, and Bon Pastor will understand that the way that Chelsea have played tonight to win the league title with a draw would be perfect, would be exactly what they need.
Yeah.
But yeah, Skinner will feel a missed opportunity. That's why he's going to Turland and Toon.
Yeah.
Because he knows. Look, I mean, he looks so calm and relaxed.
That's another great reason to bench the pair is you've now got Turland and Toon coming on against a really tight Chelsea defence.
Yeah, they'll fancy it. They will fancy it.
Mark Skinner doesn't want to see Chelsea win a successive WSL title on his home turf.
Again.
That's
sorry, I missed that word. I'm not. I'm just missing out words at the moment. But yeah, and he wants to finally beat Chelsea in his career.
Shem went with the stream says could be the longest 90, but to win the league at United would be decent. Well, we did it last year, 6-0 obviously at Old Trafford on the last day of the season. It's not been as impressive a performance tonight, but a point would confirm a 6th consecutive WSL.
That's not a foul.
Wait, that is a soft one.
Saying the ones that the ref hasn't given, like I thought Bronze committed a foul about a couple of minutes ago where she just lumped into Mallard, but Walsh does just take the ball away.
The afters, that's after the foul's been given. Does she pull Clinton back a bit?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this is a really tough moment now. Yes, United make the double change. That's a problem when you are not playing at your best and you see Turland and Toon coming on.
That'll be Mallard coming off. No goal, but a very strong performance from Mallard. Came on and came into the side and gave Brighton Germer something to think about.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Turland and Toon will give Chelsea something to think about right now.
Definitely will. Clinton, the player to make way for Ella Toon then. So really strong double substitution now from Manchester United as they look to break the deadlock in this game.
Yeah. I think you're right. If you're Chelsea and someone with a Bombastor, you take a 0-0 draw right now.
Ball swung into the box there. Chelsea making a bit of a mess of it. There's a call for handball in there from Letitia, but she's the only one calling for it. Bronze making a meal of that, but Chelsea do recover possession. And it'll be launched forward by Neve Charles. Baltimore unable to compete in the air there, but does see the headed clearance from Riviere back into the Chelsea midfield. Chelsea send it forwards. Galton back now to Fallon Tullis-Joyce. And now they'll play United. Letitia loops it forwards. Chested down well by Neve Charles. And again that is sent forwards, but that will go out of play.
Just slightly over here. It'll be interesting to see if Chelsea will react to those United changes. But the problem is, what did Chelsea, do they consolidate and bring on defensive changes or do they? I mean, I thought it looked to be Wrighton and Macario who went out to warm up.
Surely Chelsea want a goal.
Yeah, I think that's the way they'll play. I think it's one of those where attack is best form of defence.
Say it's the old adage goes. I think putting pressure on this United backline will just stop them coming forwards. Yeah. And I think if it comes down to a situation where United are looking like they might concede, I think Skinner would be more likely to consolidate and take that point.
Yeah, because at that point,
a point's so important for them at this stage.
He'd take his personal goals out of it and focus on just trying to catch Arsenal. Riviere's on the charge.
But to be fair, 3 points is so important for them.
Yeah.
1 point and 0 points, just the same in terms of catching Arsenal. So I think United could well go for this. If it's that perspective. If it's just get a point because that pretty much confirms them Champions League. Because they'd only need a point against City then. Let's be fair again, 0 does the same.
A lot can happen in 25 minutes of football.
Yeah. Germer back to Hampton. Germer again. So Chelsea looking to bring it up this left-hand side. Now Charles. Back to Naomi Germer. It's Hampton.
Guro Wrighton back with the Chelsea bench, by the way, readying herself to come on. And that's the kind of player that can turn this game on its head. She's had a couple side appearances now, got the feel back to playing with this Chelsea 11. It's like a player could just come on and make the difference in a tight game like this.
Oh, Shamir Zara on her back. That's all to hold on to possession. Now, this I'm more of a fan of. Walsh splitting the centre-backs. It's something we've not seen her do much in that role. But if she is going to play in the single pivot, it makes much more sense to do that. Chance for Turland, not far away there. Chelsea didn't deal with it. The ball turned over, slided through into Elizabeth Turland.
Baltimore again, he's lost it. Riviere.
I don't understand why she's dropping into that position to try and receive the ball.
Riviere's just following her and winning the ball every single time.
Right, just doesn't close that distance. Let's give Turland the time really to get a shot away.
Yeah, I think from that angle she trusts Hampton, because if she dives in and turns, skips past her, then suddenly it's a very dangerous prospect.
Yeah, but a little less on that, and that's 1-0 United, and Turland scored one of the best goals we've seen this season.
That is also true.
Just got to close that down. Hampton sends it forward.
I really don't feel like Carnery's touched the ball since she came on for Ramirez.
No, she's not been involved in that.
No.
Bronze is down here in some discomfort.
Nothing right. That's what annoys me. There weren't a foul on Lucy Bronze at all. So unless she's really got a problem, she's get straight back up and playing, which is exactly what she's done.
Never in position anyway. Nowhere near George here. Does now close that angle. Just got to stand her up. Bronze does well there. And then her and George run into each other. Carnery sending it forwards. Beaver Jones tries to get it under her control. One back there by Dominique Janssen. Now Toon into George. Really good defending from Bronze. Bronze has sat down for the third time in 60 seconds.
Get up.
But again, I think she's knackered.
Yeah.
And part of it is the way she plays the game, because she goes into everything at 100 miles an hour. There's so many more high intensity sprints than she needs to do.
Yeah.
And also because her defending relies so heavily on her being able to make those recovery runs, because she gets caught high.
Yeah.
It's understandable she's more tired, but...
Oh, what a tackle, Vika captain.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant...
And the guy's give and go between her and Nuskun, and Chelsea have 4-on-4 here, and options ahead of the Dutch midfielder. Goes to this right-hand side. Carnery squares up to Gabby George, looking to get a shot away. Takes on the full-back, does really well, sits George down. But the cross is too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Gotta cut it further away from Tullis Joyce. It's really good from Katinishi, and then he's smart from Carnery, who just dropped off George to give Captain the option. Good from Carnery. The initial burst is brilliant. Gotta cut it back further though, and put a bit of lift on it.
Absolutely fire it at that near post. Because you've got just enough angle there. The Tullis Joyce isn't catching it.
It's another demonstration of Carnery doing everything right until that final ball or that final shot.
Yeah.
That just isn't coming off her at the moment.
Indeed. George down here. Hopefully nothing serious. She just seemed to get caught in the turf there, trying to keep up with Carnery.
And both sides will take a moment to get some probably final instructions in. But yeah, Chelsea have definitely grown into the second half. United have probably still been the better side.
But still not enough not enough action there, United. Half. Not enough presence in this game. I don't think it's been a particularly convincing performance from Chelsea by any metric. So still frustrating in that regard, but it's good to see a marked improvement from the first to second half, and even through that second half.
Yeah, Chelsea's thing I think will now be the last 3 games, just get the league wrapped up and then put everything into the FA Cup final and then just call it there.
Oh yeah, if Chelsea win the league today, the team that plays Tottenham shouldn't feature any of the starting.
Should be the under 18s.
Might as well.
Probably still win.
No, but things like get Lola Brown a double self start at minutes.
Minutes,
why not?
I would not start.
No, she should though. That's what I mean.
Running Ash Neville.
Exactly.
George is going to come off for Sandberg, by the way.
Perfect debut.
Still no Chelsea change since Nuskin came on.
But players like Melis and Pommet, Jean-Francois should start both the games left in this season. That's what I'm talking about. Those sort of players.
Yeah.
Deserve the opportunity and just haven't played enough.
So Macario's there warming up. So Jean-Francois. Guro returned to the bench, and I thought she was going to come on, but maybe she just went back to get a drink or something.
Dominic Janssen sends a pass forward. Ella Toon losing out in the midfield. Now Chelsea will look to come forwards. Bronze almost getting caught in possession there. Does enough to get it to Germa. Germa sends it forward. Sandberg winning the header down to Toon. Now it goes back to Sandberg. Being forced back here, United. Letitia. Joe Harrison says get Baltimore off and right and on. That's a substitution I would agree with.
Yeah. Or
move Baltimore to full back.
Look at that. Chelsea midfield, nowhere.
She's flagging a bit.
I mean, how... no offence, but Shotgunowska's just come on. She should be the first midfielder back every single time.
Yeah. And she's not played a whole lot of football. Right.
So how Walsh is left alone there by Nuskadan captain.
Nice combination there between Carnereed and Walsh. Then no one's forward.
Yeah. And now Chelsea, yeah. Cycling the ball and keeping control.
They broke the lines then. There's just no options. And I know Beaver Jones had pulled wide because Carnereed had driven inside, but Baltimore's got to come across, or the left central midfielder there, I think it was captain, needs to come forwards. But
Jade Riviere has been absolutely brilliant tonight.
She's been phenomenal all season, to be fair. But particularly tonight, Baltimore's not had a sniff.
I've never seen such a good one-on-one defender, but also I've never seen a player step up so often but get it right every single time. It's elements we see in the best right back. Bronze is one of them, but Bronze doesn't get it right every time. Riviere, genuinely, every time she steps up, she wins the ball back.
But also, Bronze gets caught hard of the pitch all the time and is really rash, whereas I think much more level-headed is Jade Riviere.
Yeah.
I think it's the type of signing Chelsea should be... I mean, it's a very difficult time to pull off, but throw money at it.
Yeah.
I don't think Jim Ratcliffe's saying no.
No.
Ball goes forward. Charles wins it back well in there.
See, I think this is an important part of the game now, because this is where Chelsea started to slightly fall away.
Beaver Jones into Baltimore. Chelsea are coming to life in this game, if anything, though. That pass doesn't quite come off. Beaver Jones will compete to get there too and just smash it into her.
Too soft from Beaver Jones. Didn't back herself to get to that football. She could have got there first if she'd gone in for it, but just pulled out.
I think for Chelsea, the next substitution's got to be Kat Macario.
Yeah, and a double.
Either for Aggie or
got to be two
captain. And then Wrighton, yeah, definitely.
You got three subs, 2 stoppages left. Do 2 now and then bring on 1 later on.
Yeah, if you need impact, fish out.
But it's been a weird contrast because United made attacking changes as Chelsea approached the game.
Captain now Carnereed coming forwards, pokes it through towards Beaver Jones. Important intervention from Sandberg, but that's a corner for Chelsea. Their first of the half. Poignant moment.
Error from Turner, and Chelsea looked to capitalise.
Really good from captain.
So well followed by Sandberg this run, because Beaver Jones, I mean, it's really well intercepted because Letitia shadows it. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but if not, Beaver Jones would get a shot away. Again, good from Carnereed, but that final ball just doesn't come off for her. Right idea though that time, just not much she could have done about it. But yeah, really contrast by Chelsea growing into the game while United made attacking changes, and it's kind of nullified United's attacking changes.
Ball in. And it's in for Chelsea. It didn't look like it had gone in, but it has. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 1. Tyler's Joyce came out to claim it, flapped at it, missed it, and I think it was Vika, captain, or Lucy Bronze actually, who gets the final touch. And that's Manchester United 0, Chelsea 1, just as changes were being readied. I think it's Hermano and Macario coming on. Will that be rethought now? Because it's Manchester United behind here. Chelsea take the lead.
Potentially, so that is a huge goal for Chelsea. They had been growing into the game, and it was Lucy Bronze with a brilliant header. Beats Talis Joyce to the ball and finds the bottom corner. It's a great header. Yeah. It's such a good header. To outjump a goalkeeper.
Brilliant delivery. Not tracked there at all by Miyazawa. And yeah, Talis Joyce has got to claim that better. Her decision to come out so late is a rash one as well.
I mean,
she misses the ball.
Even if she was on
back of the net.
Even if she's on her line, that is a difficult header to save. What a header from Bronze. And a massive goal. 15 minutes to play for Chelsea.
Absolutely huge.
15 minutes away from being crowned champions again. Massive goal. Because it has not been a great performance. They have worked hard for it.
Baltimore off. Brighton on. Triple change for Chelsea. Beaver Jones off. Macario on. You'd assume then Vega captain off. Hermano on.
Yeah. And this is the problem for United now. They have conceded, and now Chelsea are making the triple change to really pile on the pressure. Massive goal. Great header from Brighton.
Legs in the front line now, isn't it?
But that again though, we talk about it time and time again. This is what champions do. When they're not at their best, when they are struggling, they find a way to dig deep in a game, earn a bit of control, work themselves back into the game, and find the back of the net. And that's exactly what Chelsea have done this second half. They've been second best for portions of this football match, but over the course of the last half an hour, they've dug deep, they've worked their way into the second half, and now they've got their goal. And now suddenly they're bringing on a triple change of Hermano, Wrighton and Macario to see a football game out.
Yeah. And United having a bit of a rethink now.
Scrambling for ideas.
Like, the notebook is open.
Yeah. Skinner genuinely looks like he might hurt someone. Because
it's Beaver Jones, Carnery, but Carnery back off.
Wow.
It's a hell of a decision, but ballsy.
I
know she came off. She came on 20 minutes, and she has played a lot recently. So I don't think she'll have too many complaints about it. And she's not been in this game, but
she hasn't. It's harsh, and I hope
it's the kind of one where if it could create an issue. But I think because she still played 70 minutes and she has played a lot recently.
But that is presser question number 2. Number 1 is, well done, you've won the league. How do you feel? Number 2 is, why on earth did you bring Carnery back off? But yeah, I agree. She hasn't been in the game.
Yeah, tough call to make. But...
Yeah, and it's probably not nice feeling as a player, but she's a professional, and I think she'll understand. I'm not expecting any revealing interviews to come out.
Yeah,
about how she doesn't know.
As Shadow says, great header, but Tyler Story didn't need to come out for that one.
Yeah, got it wrong. A goal kick has been perfect this season.
I think she if she comes out for it, she's got to react earlier. She comes way too late.
Well, no, but
never get there.
She does, but it's the body. I think she's got to anticipate the goal. You've got to realise though, there's 3 players between you and the ball. You're not going to get out there in time. Because you're not the Hulk. You're not just going to knock everyone out of the way and punch the ball out, away.
Yeah, D'Angelo was just like swan dived over the play.
Should have started on the crossbar, jumped off the bar, and just like slammed onto the ball. And now Hannah Hampton's turn to roll out the dark arts.
Indeed.
Chelsea are in no rush.
Slowing this game down now. I think for United, it's obviously a point is a point, but it probably does as much practically for their season as 0.
Because they've got to play Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even so, because of the way that they need 3 really if they want to be ahead of Arsenal. They've got to beat Arsenal in that final game week.
What it does, which is very exciting for us, is puts a lot of pressure on the Manchester derby this weekend.
It does indeed.
Because if Manchester City win that match, United are in big trouble not getting Champions League, and that would be the biggest throwaway that we've seen in a while. If United were to not finish in the Champions League this season.
Also, if anyone in chat, if you know any Manchester-based content creators who fancy collaborating, 'cause it's the only time we're going to be in Manchester.
Yeah.
Let us know or let them know. But yeah,
one-time exclusive offer for one time only.
We've got nothing to do.
We will never return to Manchester ever again.
Well, I don't envision going there anytime soon after this weekend.
Well, I might fancy a trip up there.
All right, Harry will be there at another time.
Have a look around.
We've got the package deal.
Yeah.
Hit us up. But Chelsea in possession. Germa knocks it out of play. Manchester United throw. Sherry says, to be honest, I'm not happy Skinner took Clinton off. I think Clinton should have gone off. I think Gavin should have gone off and Clinton moved out to the left. Yeah. Could have worked.
And the nightmares will continue for Mark Skinner. Unless a miracle turnaround from United in the last...
Haunted by Chelsea.
Poor bloke.
He just has blue colour in his head.
Yeah.
League. It's Basil.
Yeah, 100%. Every time. I wonder if Basil's gone tonight, all the way to Manchester. Incredible support, but it looks like those Chelsea...
I didn't see him on Sunday.
No.
When he wasn't there, I just didn't see him. And usually you see him from
You usually hear him.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, those Chelsea fans that have made the long trip to Manchester on a Wednesday night may be reaping the rewards as they get to see their side confirm their another title. No trophy left, obviously.
Got to respect it. Would have loved to have been there tonight. Did think about it because we're there anyway. But don't really fancy paying for a hotel for 5 nights.
And I don't want to watch Man United twice. That's a joke, by the way. Be great. I'd love to watch United twice. Very good football team.
Yeah.
Today, though, they've just been beaten by so far being beaten by a side who, at the end of the day, when the hammer falls and it comes to the business end of the season, a side who just know how to deliver
Makaro,
domestically.
Bronze. Back to Makaro. Lovely flick to Hamano. Ball into the box. Touch back to Makaro. Strikes it well. Really good save. Really good football from the Blues.
What a save that is, but what
lovely link up.
So good. So good. I think that could have, from Hamano, could have gone back to Makaro anyway, but it didn't matter. What a strike that is with the outside the boot.
Really intelligent stuff from Captain and Makaro. The movement from Catmac, and then the hold up from Captain. Her touch is heavy, but she realises that Makaro can use that. She backs into Turlin to create a bit of space for the shot. And then obviously
another good save inside Joyce.
Yeah.
Long ball. It's a misplaced ball from Letitia. And this is what happens. You can see Chelsea get on top, and then suddenly errors that haven't happened all game or all season really start creeping in.
Someone says, "Yeah, I thought that. Didn't hear Basil on Sunday. Thought he'd be in his element out there, but maybe it's just as sad with the 8-2 as the rest of us. The rest of the Chelsea, yeah. I was gutted not to see him. Always love seeing Basil. He's usually in the shed as well.
Genuinely, he could you could have the worst day ever. You bump into Basil and he's there just going bump, 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 and
Right. England Portugal is phenomenal. Or Portugal England. Sorry.
I've never been so happy sitting in the rain watching a football game.
If everyone stood, that made it better. Everyone that sat was there miserable.
And you get wetter.
Yeah, exactly. Paddles up. But if you stand up and shout,
yeah.
Here's Letitia.
Biggest 7 minutes Chelsea season now.
Yeah. And a double change coming for United. This is the final roll of the dice. Mannion and Narsoon.
Yeah. It's more... I don't really know what to... they're not impact subs, are they?
No.
Especially when you're bringing on Narsoon for Bizet. United potentially throwing in the towel, not throwing in the towel over here, but being realistic and deciding to rest some players rather than roll the dice and just keep pushing. Mannion on for Riviere. Riviere was superb today. Absolutely superb.
Someone said she did see Basil dancing in a circle of Barca fans. That we can't have.
No.
Wigan Basil. Hashem says, though, brings quality street to a game.
He does.
Love that.
What a man. He took sweets, didn't he, to the England-Portugal game? He had bags.
Yeah, they were great.
And just kept telling everyone to keep the fire in their hearts, the Lionesses. It keeps us warm or something. Honestly, inspirational words as well.
Real motivational speaker.
Yeah.
I think replace the Prime Minister with Basil. 90% of the country's problems are gone. I still think Farage might have a problem.
Yeah, it's true.
But he'd be great.
German needed this performance.
Yeah.
Really for an £1 million player, it's been a tough start to life at Chelsea.
In a game where I think Bright's looked a little bit shaky, where I think that the team looks really leggy, she's looked really good.
Yeah.
I
do think that
Charles.
Obviously Chelsea have played very well, but another turning point in this match was when Toon and Turlin came on. United went for it, and I think that's...
Yeah.
They actually haven't done anything. I know that's because Chelsea have got better. We haven't really seen them. But
I think they knew they knew how they wanted to set up with Galton and with Mallard and Clinton. In terms of they'll be very transitional, high pressing, and that's changed obviously because they've completely changed the makeup of their attack.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why they did that. I know they obviously wanted to go for the game. You bring the big guns on. They're players who can go on and add that quality, go and get a goal. But I think they could have maybe stopped what they're doing.
Yeah,
because it's working.
Surely the way I'd have done it is brought one of them on, and then if you're still chasing the game, or you could still win a game, bring the other one on for a defender and go for it.
But it also feels like because United's depth isn't particularly strong, Skinner turns to the bench in that moment and he goes, well, I don't really want to bring on any of our defensive or midfield players. Yeah. So your only options there to change anything are those attacking players.
Yeah.
And obviously the strength for Turland and Bizet, can see why you make that obvious substitution. But chance now for Manchester United, really good header away from Lucy Bronze, read it well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Obviously a draw would still win Chelsea the title tonight, but they'll want to do it with a victory, keep the points ticking over, keep the gap growing. And just, yeah, you don't want to win the title by drawing a game.
Yeah. I feel so. It's got to be patient with Germer. It's a big fee, but she's still young and experienced in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, definitely have to be. But I think she's a player who can come in and do very well. We've seen that already.
It's the reason it's a big fee is because of that potential they're talking about as well. I mean, yes, she is very good now, but Chelsea are paying
for a prospect, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's the next sort of that Renard of someone who is just
if she is the best fit of Renard. I'll be the happiest man ever. Because genuinely, it's just out of this world, Wendy Renard. In her own bracket of footballer.
But I think it's the thing that Barcelona have probably lacked over their period of dominance has been a proper world-class centre-half. I'm not doubting that Paredes and Leon are very good, but are they going to be considered in that elite, like world-class bracket of all time? When it comes to the end of their career, I don't think they stack up to someone like Renard in terms of quality.
If you're saying, do you take prime Renard and Gilles or prime Leon and Paredes, I am taking prime Renard and Gilles every single day of the week.
Because I think in a competition where you can't just smash into players, Leon would really struggle.
I hope Arsenal fans... There's no one. I know Arsenal fans tuning into this. They're not Arsenal.
They're the same, aren't they? There's so many Barcelona fans I've seen, or Barcelona. That's the
Is that a thing?
No, it's because because Arsenal always want Chelsea to lose, Barcelona always want Chelsea to lose. So they sort of just become mutual.
But that is my biggest argument to Barcelona fans. Their biggest rivalry is with Chelsea because their league isn't competitive enough to have a rivalry with any other club.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'd never lost Real Madrid before this season.
Their
the only
biggest
reason they
rival.
lost was there was a bit of a messy game. They played a weak inside.
And
but
they probably should have had 2 goals. A goal and a penalty. But yeah, I think that is the uncompetitiveness of the league because their 2 biggest rivals playing France and England.
And Lyon would have won the league ages ago if it weren't for their playoff system, where they will just win the league but on delay. Will Chelsea go invincible though? I think provided they see out this game, Tottenham shouldn't be a problem.
Tottenham away, that could genuinely be a hiding because Tottenham have looked terrible this season.
Tottenham defensively really woeful.
Liverpool will be more difficult, but that is obviously the last game of the season. It's at Stamford Bridge, and that will be the day that Chelsea get their trophy. So I don't see Chelsea having any problems.
I think when it comes down to that game, Chelsea, the players will be up for it.
Yeah,
because you just want to stay invincible.
And
Liverpool, first WSL clubs to ever go invincible, obviously. In the WSL era, Arsenal did it outside the WSL era. They went 4 years unbeaten, but
oh my lord!
Bloody hell.
Wow, just a long ball landing on the crossbar.
Glad Hannah Hampton's
I've never known a goalkeeper to smile and laugh so much after so many nervy moments.
Yeah.
Into the last minute in the 90.
Says congrats Ipswich Town ladies on their promotion at the weekend. Yeah, spoke about that on Sunday. We saw Nottingham Forest promoted. And we saw Ipswich Town promoted into the Championship. We saw Sheffield United, wasn't it, relegated? First time since they were promoted back in 2015, I think it was. They've been relegated back down into League One, or Division 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, that splits into North and South. And we obviously saw Crystal Palace relegated, and we saw both London Linus and Birmingham draw. I think Birmingham were kicking themselves there.
Yeah.
Such a big opportunity for them to actually take the lead. London Linus only need a draw when they play Birmingham this Sunday.
Sunday, massive. Yeah. Absolutely massive.
Arguably more important than any of the WSL action. I mean, United City will just determine who's going to finish in the Champions League. Even if United lose, though, they should still finish ahead of City. 7 minutes of additional time in this first half. In this game, by the way.
Delaying the title confirmation.
Yeah. It was cleared so hard into the sideboard there momentarily it went off. Yeah. But yeah. Almost at the end of the season now.
Yeah. It's been a great year for Chelsea. I think a lot of people will got to question the fact that Chelsea were absolutely, were torn apart in that Champions League, and that was the big aim this season. But Chelsea can still are still, they're going to win this game. They're one game away from a treble. And that is.
I think that far is going to be difficult.
That is really difficult, yes, but that is still a brilliant position to be in. A brilliant season.
Yeah, definitely.
And to go invincible as well, we're just second that.
If Arsenal win the Champions League, that's all for nothing.
That is also true, especially if Arsenal win it in the men's game as well.
Well, yeah.
They said Barcelona.
I was going to bring that up. Under-19s, women's and the men's team could all get trebles.
Spain and Barcelona just dominating every single competition at the minute.
I don't think Barcelona will win the men's Champions League. 3-3 with Inter tonight. Hell of a game.
3-3?
Inter went 2-0 up as well. And then 3-2 up, but Barcelona found a way.
Nearly as good as the action we've seen this evening.
Yeah, indeed. The earlier kick-off.
Aston Villa beating Arsenal by 5 goals to 2. Most Arsenal performance I think that could have happened in that game. And Villa was superb.
Yeah, really incredible.
And
really
that result has meant that Chelsea winning the title tonight was made possible. And, well, it certainly hasn't been an easy task for Chelsea, but they are 5 minutes away from making it 6 in a row.
Indeed, and the Chelsea fans that are at the game in good spirits.
6 in a row is genuinely incredible.
Oh yeah,
especially with but it's more incredible.
It feels like another feat that just won't be repeated, because I think over the next decade we will see the other teams get close to Chelsea. The biggest question is now, how long can they keep this going?
I think Chelsea. It's not one of those where Chelsea have won 6 in a row comfortably. There have been years where Chelsea have got the rub of the green and have gone through to win it.
I do enjoy Barcelona fans who just watch football on Wikipedia, who think that the WSL is a farmer league because Chelsea have won 6 in a row. But every title for us
Chelsea shouldn't have won last year. It's as simple as that.
No, absolutely not.
Man City should have won that if it wasn't for Stina Blackstenius putting on the best 10 minutes of her career. And many other results that went.
Well, City didn't lose to Chelsea domestically. In the league last season. Obviously, lost them in the cup, but they didn't lose them in the league last season. They just couldn't get the result done on the day. The difference is this season, no one's been able to beat Chelsea.
No.
City weren't close either time. Arsenal put a good game in, but ultimately came undone. And United have probably given them the best go, arguably.
If this does end 1-0. To only lose 1-0 to Chelsea twice when you probably had chances to win both games, especially this second one.
Yeah.
It's progress from United.
But equally, United haven't scored against Chelsea in either game. Obviously, Arsenal did score in the game at the Emirates. Caitlin Ford beat Lucy Bronze because Lucy Bronze forgot defending for a moment. Amano, Brighton gets caught trying to play out. United now in search of an equaliser,
which would slightly dampen the mood for Chelsea, but shouldn't threaten any chance of not wrapping things up tonight.
Phil says, I wish I shared your optimism about other clubs catching up, but I'm not convinced. It's more pessimism on this side, that someone's eventually got to catch Chelsea.
I think it's just the fashion that Chelsea have won the leagues in gives me hope that that teams will get closer.
I don't have any. No, don't want that.
No.
Let Chelsea win 20 in a row.
Neutral hat on. I do think that sides are getting very close.
Yeah. Someone says I saw a rare Chelsea fan saying they want Arsenal to smash Barca for revenge. Won't forget that, lad. No. I hate Barcelona.
I want both teams to lose.
Yeah. Honestly, the Champions League final stream is going to be the most generational hate watch you've ever seen.
I genuinely know. I cannot tell you who I want to win that football match because I don't want.
But Barcelona is boring. I hate their fans so much. But I will not hear the end of it from Arsenal fans, and I just can't bother with that.
But is the fact that Arsenal...
At least Barcelona fans don't interact with our content until like April.
That is true. Yeah, genuinely, you watch our things. Don't hear. You got like
They pop in the group stage and stuff.
New and other people part, but you don't see anything, and then suddenly we get to the Champions League knockouts, and hundreds of Barcelona fans flood our channel.
Well, that's the thing, because we don't talk about Barcelona for the rest of the season, because what are we going to talk about? Wow, Barcelona are really good, guys. Who's shocked?
Yeah.
But obviously, the bit starts in because City played Barcelona in the Champions League, but yeah. I'm going to wear my Leon shirt for that final.
I might go get a Turbine Potsdam shirt.
Roll back the year.
Yeah. I'm not sure they probably don't even exist anymore.
They don't.
No.
I don't think.
Probably find them somewhere.
Lower leagues, I think.
Yeah.
If they do still exist. Let's have a look.
Well, who was the side Arsenal played in? Is it Umia? Who Arsenal played in their final when they won it?
Oh, Potsdam are still First Division. They are 12th.
Oh, I'll get it.
They are currently being relegated.
Okay, maybe not. Chelsea come forward looking to make it too, and looking to seal the title in style.
They may have 1 point this season.
Okay, I'm not buying that shirt then. Chelsea going to the corner.
There
Very
are proud
smart.
Bundesliga experts out there. How have Potsdam got only 1 point? And how have Cologne only got 8?
What has
happened in this league?
30 seconds to go.
And the team in 10th, they've only got 10.
This is lovely. Chelsea out with the lead.
No, I'm just interested then.
Oh, Tyler's Joyce is going to take the throw in. Unless she don't take goal because it weren't there.
I should absolutely launch that 10, yeah.
United sending out last-ditch attempt to steal a point.
Mane will chest it down. Pokes it up the line. That will go off for a United throw. Thought that was the final whistle there. The referee teasing it. It's on there by captain Macario. Back to captain Chelsea trying to hold it up. Goes out again for United. Throwing, but that is that. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 1, and for the 6th consecutive season, Chelsea are your Women's Super League champions, the 24-25 champions. An incredible season from the Blues. Invincible to this point. 2 games to go, though. What a season.
What a campaign for Chelsea, and credit to a brilliantly fought game to seal the deal, but well done. It's, I think, been overshadowed a lot by recent results, but you forget how good Chelsea were at the start of the campaign. They blew sides out the water this season, yet to be beaten as well. It's been a brilliant campaign for Bon Pastor and the Blues. Really good stuff to seal the title with 2 games to go. Putting every single side they've played to bed. It takes a lot of beating.
Yeah.
But credit to Bon Pastor, first season in blue and wins the title already.
Yeah, indeed. Really impressive stuff from Chelsea, and building on, I think, going into this season with the unknown of Bon Pastor coming in, with obviously Emma Hayes leaving and the legacy there behind her time at Chelsea, there was fears that Chelsea would slip away from that dominant perch they had in the WSL. But ultimately, another campaign, another title, and while lately everyone's overreacting and saying that Bon Pastor's awful, Chelsea are rubbish, and the whole squad needs to be sold, because of that Barcelona result, Chelsea are in a position to claim a domestic treble. 2 trophies down now, the League Cup and the WSL. The FA Cup final coming up in a few weeks' time now, obviously against Manchester United. And yeah, what a moment for the Blues. A big night, and the 2nd consecutive year they've claimed the trophy right in front of Mark Skinner.
Yeah, but Mark Skinner, his hatred for Chelsea will continue to go on. Celebrations, though, all round for Chelsea.
Hannah Hampton's found us.
I don't know where she's found that. But, yeah, job not done yet, but certainly a night for Chelsea to celebrate. Yeah, someone came prepared with the champion flags. I like
imagine
that.
the WSL, to someone from the WSL just ran down hand that. Does that mean they are doing the trophy tonight then?
I don't think so, no. Don't do the trophy, will they? I don't know.
They just for Liverpool, didn't they, the other night? The other day?
Did they?
Can't remember.
No, I don't think they did. No, I've seen, no.
I didn't watch it. I watched the FA Cup, much more interesting.
Yeah, no, it's just the confirmation. But Chelsea have done it, and that's the main thing. And credit to United, because they put on a really good performance.
Oh, yeah, Man City didn't last season, did they?
And they pushed Chelsea all the way. But Chelsea, once again, proving that they just can't be stopped. And now Sonia's going to get a team huddle with... I like that.
Team photo with champions 24-25 on the floor. A big season. Impressive season for the Blues.
So it's really great.
It's got to buy heroes.
Look at her stood there in a great time as an emergency lone goalkeeper
at Tottenham, seeing how many you can concede in a game.
Yeah.
But I love this, a huddle around that.
Look at it.
WSL champions flag.
It's been a really good season. I mean, I've got it from a neutral point of view. It's a shame to have the relegation and the champions wrapped up with 2 games to go, but for Chelsea it's brilliant. For Palace, obviously, it's devastating. They hope to give it a better fight, but it's still a European fight. But someone's got some. I don't know. I think it's with water. I thought Erin Cuthbert would start the party early.
Just going out in Manchester tonight.
And, well, the away supporter who have travelled to Manchester are going to enjoy a lovely moment with the players. Rewarded, really, for the long trip on a midweek night.
Someone has found something to spray. Well, yeah. In other breaking news, water is red and grass is green. Thank you, Phil. Well, there we go. Chelsea celebrating in front of the travelling fans.
6 in a row.
Incredible record.
Pretty good, that.
And Chelsea 2 games away from an invincible campaign.
Is it the best of the 6 if Chelsea go invincible?
Yeah. It could also be the biggest margin.
It could also be the biggest margin.
Well, it can't be tighter than it was last year.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah. And, debut titles for a lot of players in that squad as well.
Yeah.
Baltimore and Pomey.
Germa.
Joined in January. She'd run the league by April. Well, it's the job done.
Both pretty much joined in February.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a bad.
Spencer joined in March.
Becky Spencer's been at the club for a month and won a league title.
Won 2 trophies. She showed up just before the League Cup final.
She's going to go out to Tottenham. She surely doesn't get a medal.
She's named in the squads.
She's going to Tottenham next year.
I don't think she'll get a WSL one. You need to play, I don't know what the minimum is. I should have got 5 games. Maybe it is. But yeah. That could have been... I reckon she'll get one for the Cups, though, because she's just got to be named in the squad.
What I love is that about all these, they've got the board and they've got all the flags and stuff with champions on them. But what's really funny is that they had to bring all of them to this game, and they might not have even needed any of them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, the Chelsea players enjoying it. We'll have to say.
Yeah. Look at Becky Spencer, front and centre, soaking it all in. She's got to go out to Tottenham in 2 games' time. She's a Tottenham player in 2 matches in 9 days' time.
Clearly she's out of no, because she's got the FA Cup final. She'll still be at Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
But surely is she out of contract this summer at Tottenham?
I don't know, but Chelsea aren't gonna snap her up.
No, I know. I was just trying to see where she goes. Hampton and Cox.
That's Katie Cox's biggest contribution to the season to the Chelsea squad.
She's not even allowed to be the bench goalkeeper.
No. But yeah.
Phil should do the trophy presentation, really. Yeah, but I guess they'll leave it for when it's at the bridge. And
in front of Liverpool.
Yeah. I don't think the Chelsea fans are going to pitch invade, though.
No.
Should they?
No.
They don't. Man City do, and they win every year.
Yeah, but Man City are idiots. But yeah, no, it'll be good though to do it at Stamford Bridge in front of a good Chelsea crowd.
That should sell more now.
I can just see Mark Skinner definitely just stood on the edge of the tunnel, just looking out at Chelsea's champion celebrations, preparing it.
There's a really cinematic photo of him from behind. There's not just enough light to see who he is, and then you can just see in the background Chelsea.
And because he was the villain, and then this year he became really respectful. Hayes had gone, and he was going to challenge again, but now he's rebuilding his villain arc.
Chelsea's trophy presentation at the Lee Sports Village. Nah, please don't drop it in. We should.
Running around the trade rooms, right in Mark Skinner. Look at it, Mark. Isn't it?
I reckon he's home.
Oh, he's gone, yeah.
Left the changing rooms.
He's on his sofa, he's getting to bed. Just crying himself to sleep.
Right, I'll pick this up tomorrow.
He's out the door. Everyone out now.
What's to beat the rash?
Oh, I'm glad all the injured players are getting involved in a bundle, by the way, for Chelsea. Everyone just jumping on top of it. They've all played games recently and Nuska's been bundled on.
Brilliant stuff. Anyway, we should probably call it a night there because it is 10:20 and we are recording in the morning. Look out for that. We'll be back tomorrow morning where we're going to talk about what went wrong for Chelsea against Barcelona, which feels really fitting now. Didn't think they were going to win the league tonight.
No.
Until the Arsenal game. Now tomorrow morning's video is going to be weird, but look out for that. What went wrong between Chelsea and Barcelona? It's mainly with Barcelona fans in the comments, so if you're not a Barcelona fan, get involved in the comments,
please,
to balance out the rational from the not. Anyway, we'll be back. There's no Barcelona fans watching this, it's fine. We'll be back on Monday with live streams for Arsenal versus Brighton, and of course there will be content on our Instagram probably from across this weekend, where we're going to try and see what happens to Harry and Leeds. So that should be fun. Other than that, content out tomorrow, and then we're back in the next week, and then obviously final game week after that.
Wow,
crazy stuff.
That is so quick.
It has. Then FA Cup final, Champions League final, Euros time. Anyway, that is everything. Thanks everyone hopping in Stream Shadow Football. Nice of you to join us. Lousy Philly summer. Thank you all. As I say, we will be back on Monday for Arsenal versus Brighton, I believe it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. That is everything. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.